cards is a lifestyle. Sports cards and we live now. Jeremy Lee in the building and every guest that you ever needed. Sports cards after hours keep the hobby heated. Updates, hobby talk like you never seen it. Sports cards live and none could ever beat it. Sports cards is a lifestyle. Sports cards and we live now. Welcome to another episode of Sports Cards Live with your host, Jeremy Lee.
All right, guys, here we go. It is a big night. It is a big night in the Canada-US hockey game because that is happening right now. 2-1 USA, I can see at the moment. Go Canada. But I'm also going to be happy for my American friends if you guys win, although I'll be very sad for me and my Canadian friends. Guys, big auction going on tonight. And we are going to have to do something a little creative right now. Oh, there we go. There we go. I am back. Let's just bring on Adam Gray. We're going to bring on Adam. As you may notice, I am having slight technical issues, but Adam, hello, welcome. How are you?
I'm doing great. You don't appear to have any technical issues to me. You look good.
Thank you. Well, I am. This happened the other night. I would freeze on my screen, but everything's good. So I'll talk through it and try and fix it if it happens again.
Okay.
But anyway, we have a big night here, Adam. It's your favorite night of the month. It's among mine as well. Some amazing cards tonight here on the Fanatics Premier platform. And as I'm seeing lots of great comments here, as Vintage says, this will be the ultimate test of my ability to concentrate as I look over there at my phone where I have my Sportsnet app and I can see the ongoing score in the Canada-US hockey game. It's a championship game tonight, Adam. It is a big night. Hello to the professor. Brent Wire, Deep Value, is cheering on the USA. I can't blame you guys for cheering on the USA at all. Hey, guys, if you are watching on Instagram, please feel free to come on over. Come on over to YouTube. That is where the action is, you guys. I see about 5 of you in there right now. Coming over to YouTube. Link in my bio, or just head over to the Sports Cards Live YouTube channel. Andrew Deutsch, what is going on? Southern Collector Tony, good evening. What's happening? We've got Daniel Brown here. We got Jason Newman. Jacob Dahl is here. Tyson's Corner. Michael Linda's first. And Jacob Dahl says, go USA. Sorry. Listen, no need to be sorry. We're going to cheer on our countries. But at the end of the day, I will just say, whatever is going on out there in the world, I got a lot of friends in the United States. I have a lot of American friends. I got American family, and I love all of you guys. I'll just put it to you that way. What's up? Signs of the time. Vintage, good to see you. Jeffrey Hart, good evening. Daniel Brown, did they ever make a Canada logo one of one like Adam's bird? Not that I know of, Dan Brown. Not that I am aware of, but I suppose you just never know. All right, Adam, I got what you sent me. I am going. Okay, guys, give us one quick second. Here we go. I just got to get Adam's Instagram up and running, and we are good, Adam. We should be good right away here. Guys, if you're watching on my Instagram, if you're watching on Adam's Instagram, coming over to YouTube, get in the chat, and let's talk some cards. Let's talk some Canada-US hockey. All right. I'm a little excited right now. Joshua, welcome to the show. First time. Good to see you. Glad to have you. DZ Dean Davis. Here we go. Deep Value. Adam, the best in the biz when it comes to providing collector education. Very nice compliment right there, Brent. Matt Billman, welcome to YouTube. Deep. Jay Lee, the Jay Leno of the industry. Oh, hey, you're paying compliments to everybody, Deep. We appreciate that. Dizzy Dean, first time here. Guys, welcome to the first time live streams. It's great to have you, Adam. All right, dude, listen. We got a big night here, don't we?
You're wanting to watch this hockey game has to be the single biggest event that we've ever done during the show. And it's just a testament to how much you love the Fanatics Collect Premier Auction. It really is. It's amazing. So if I see you drifting, if I see your eyes sort of start doing that, I'll send you a little private chat. But I don't blame you, man. It happens sometimes. It does. I was supposed to be running a basketball tournament tonight, and my team was playing, and they're playing right now. And so the first game of the year I've had to miss, but it's worth it. It's such a fun night. I love tonight. It really is the best night of the month.
It is, and this is only once a month, so we're not going to miss it. It's, I guess, I don't know, unfortunate that it coincides with this epic hockey game tonight. I mean, maybe the biggest hockey game since the 2010 Olympics. This is a big game, but we have business at hand. There are cards going off tonight. We got consigners. People have sent cards in to Fanatics to sell tonight. We want to do them a good service tonight. We want to help showcase those cards, talk about them. We got people bidding. They have questions. They want to know what we think of things. We want to serve them as well. But yes, I'm going to look over there at my phone to see the score regularly. And if it's a close game, I'm going to be doing that all night long. If I see it's 4-1 Canada or 4-1 USA or 4-2 USA, I may not be as distracted. But Jay Mollico's here. What's going on, Jay Mollico? Huge save, says Jake Dahl. And we have planned. We're going to be talking about this is what we do. Well, we've been doing this for 4 years now, once a month, Adam and I. So we're going to do what we are always doing here. And we're going to talk cards. Adam, before we do, are you ready for me to get into some screen share, or do you want to say anything before we start rolling? Hello, Robert Scott.
No, I just want to say, go ahead and start rolling. But as you do that, I would say to DZ Dean and to all others, our objective tonight is to look through the cards, to talk about the cards, and to hear what you have to say about the cards. The chat is the third member of this group. It's not just me and Jeremy. Between the two of us, Jeremy and I have 8 decades of sports card history. So we have strong feelings. We often agree. We sometimes don't. We like to highlight those moments where we don't agree a little bit. Last month, I got a little heated, and I had to apologize to Jeremy at the end of the show. So I'm going to try not to get that heated this time. But no, we want to hear from you guys. We want you to say what you think. If you don't like a card, say it and say why. If you love a card, say it and say why. And this is a safe place to talk about what you like in collecting. It's fun. It's meant to be great, and that's why it's the best night of the month. So DZ Dean and everybody else who's new, thank you for joining us. We'll be here for 3 hours or more, right, Jeremy? And
that's right.
So say what you want, and we'll get to your comments. Unless you're totally obnoxious, we will talk about the things that you want to talk about.
We will definitely. Well, Tyson's Corner says terrible timing for the Wemby card sales in this auction. I mean, listen, let's just touch on that for a moment, Adam. And by the way, guys, all access extended bidding starts in 7 minutes. So keep that in mind, but it's all access. So you don't have to get in a preliminary bid. Oh, Canada scored. I just see on my phone. What is going on with that? Let's go.
So what's the score? Is it 2-2?
It's 2-2 now. That's what my phone is telling me. My phone says 2-2 right there. I don't know if that's right or wrong, but I can't imagine it's wrong. So, okay, that's going to be happening tonight, guys, especially in a close hockey game. Thank you, Dan Brown. Matt Billman says, I have 7 decades of experience alone.
Whoa, very good, Matt Billman. Very good.
Very good. What are you calling me? 75 years old, Matt? Come on, buddy. Come on. What in the hockey did I walk into? Jason Newman. Guys, it's going to be a fun night. Okay. Adam, we were talking about Wemby briefly. Some big news on him, and that's really something that that happens in the sports card industry. Remember when who was it? Andrew Luck just retired from football in the middle of a career. Like, who would have thunk that? It happens. Sam Bennett with the goal. Thank you, Michael, one of my favorite players in the tournament. Okay, let's talk cards, Adam. Let's talk Fanatics Collect Premier Auction cards. We have 111 sports cards in this auction. We have them sorted by lot number, which doesn't really mean much except the way they were loaded into the system by Fanatics. I believe maybe a couple of the biggest cards do come up in the initial lots, but we have all 5 tabs open to cover them all. And Adam, we also have some really fun this or that's coming up later on in the night, guys. And Adam doesn't even know what they are. We're also going to be trying to watch for bids as they come in, because bids in an auction like this are pretty much as exciting as goals in a hockey game. So we're going to watch some bidding action. Adam is going to be keeping his eye on that, guys. All right, right out of the gate, if we kind of just scroll through this first page and have a look at the assortment. So I'm going to go back to the top, guys. We've got a crazy Michael Jordan, LeBron James, dual exquisite numbers pieces from 2007. Cool thing is that the card is numbered out of 23, and it's 23 of 23. It's also a BGS 95 gem. It's a Pop 2, none higher. It's at $200,000. That is a absolutely ridiculous card right there. And then on the other bookend is the Steph Curry National Treasures RPA, numbered out of 99. It's a BGS 95 with a nice 3-color patch. The autograph looks beautiful from here, but let's go take a little bit of a closer look at that. Yeah, that autograph is solid. Look at that ink. Very nice. No fading at all. I love it. Nice 3-color patch. And this is a true gem plus on the card with centering coming in with a bonus half a point on the subgrade to centering 10. Overall, it's a 9.5, as I mentioned, true gem plus. Now, in the middle is a LeBron Wembanyama Topps Mercury dual auto 1 of 1. Okay, Adam, I think I just want to let's just talk about these 3 cards because you are going to have a lot to say about these all 3 of them. I have to think. So I'm going to turn it over to you.
So the 2007 LeBron MJ, you rarely see this card pop up at all. And that's the first thing is like, it's an important card from an important set, right? The 2007 is the 5th anniversary of Exquisite. It was the 5th year. But the thing that makes it like, oh my goodness, I can't believe this card's at auction's the serial number. To have the 23 of the 23, like that's a card you just don't ever expect to show up. And so like, that's one that you think, oh, that's deep in somebody's collection, because they didn't do these dual number pieces every year. I don't know off the top of my head how many years they did it. I know they didn't do it in 2003, right? And so at most they have 5 or 6 of these. I don't think they do though. I think it's fewer than that. And to have the 23 of 23 and it's a 9.5, like it sort of has everything going for it. It's aesthetically awesome. It's got great quality patches. The autographs have been exceptionally well preserved. They look really blue. There's nothing negative to talk about here. Everything's positive. And then you add that 23 of 23, which really puts it in an elite of elite category. Other than dual logo men or dual logo men autos of these two, I'm not sure there's a better duel of these guys. Like, I'm really not. It's an awesome,
Amazing.
awesome piece.
And both patches are the 3 colors, which you don't often see. I think this is an absolutely spectacular card. Whoever walks away with that owns a true piece of cardboard and basketball history. Any special thoughts on the Curry? Brent, Deep Value says it's a great auto on the Curry, which I called out at the beginning as well. Stand by that. It is beautiful. But anything you'd like to add about Steph Curry? Maybe didn't he just receive a brand new amazing teammate?
Yeah, he did. He did, Jimmy Butler. And so we'll see what they can accomplish this year. But we could talk about the Warriors and what they may or may not do. I'm not sure what they'll do, but this card has probably 3 main variables that you want to look at. Number one is, in my opinion, what Brent said. It's the autograph quality, because there's a handful of these that have the autograph that gets into the patch well. And if the autograph gets into the patch well, it really messes it up. Whether it's graded a 10 or not, it's not an appealing thing. Second is the patch quality. And this is a 3-color that's fairly evenly distributed. There's a lot of crazy patches on these, and sometimes they're patches that have been replaced. I personally love this one because it's not so crazy of a patch that you really worry about that. And then lastly is the card condition quality. And you already pointed out, it's a gem, it's a true gem plus. And so it really has everything going for it, but you don't have to pay the crazy amounts that you might have to pay if it was like an insane patch. It's just a really strong patch, which again, for me is like pretty much ideal.
All right, let's go to the next row here, guys. We've got an Emblems of Endorsement, Michael Jordan from 04 Exquisite right here on the far left. On the far right, we've got a Curry National Treasures logo man out of 5. And in the middle, we've got what is my favorite LeBron James rookie card, the 2003 EX Essential Credentials Now, numbered out of 102. This is a Gem Mint PSA 10 Pop 5. Full disclosure, I say it's my favorite. I own one. I have a BG. I think mine's a BGS 9. I love this card. I love Essential Credentials. You number it out of 102. Just an amazing piece, Adam. Let's talk about the Emblems of Endorsement, because I know that this is a card we've talked about before. Now, this one doesn't necessarily have, the most beautiful patches simply because there's no red in them, but it's still an unbelievably tough card. Adam, what is special about, it's number 2 of 10 down here in the bottom left corner, guys. 2 of 10 on card auto, game used patches, second year exquisite as well. Anything else you'd like to point out about this one?
Emblems of Endorsement is one of the 2 sets from exquisite that people think of as the best inserts that were done throughout like all the years. This, a lot of people feel, is the best insert. It's either this or the number pieces. The prior year, the Emblem of Endorsement is numbered to 15. The prior year is the first year of exquisite. It was numbered to 15, and it is just an absolutely huge card. This is one of those rare instances where the card that's less rare is actually worth less than the card that is, you know, the card that's less rare is worth more, right? The first year one. If this is the first year one, it's just an absolutely huge card. But this is also a huge card. The way I think about it, and I think the way that collectors think about it and will think about it forever, I think about it more of an insert, as more of an insert. Some autograph patches, you're like, oh, wow, that's an amazing autograph patch. This, I feel like, is more of like you have to have the card. If you're a Jordan exquisite collector and you like want to have the Emblems of Endorsement, people call it the EOE, that if you want to have that run, this is an essential card. And there's only 10 of them, and there's a lot of holofoil on it. I actually don't even notice the patches the way that other people do on it. And that's why, that's why it's sitting at what it's sitting at. But I would guess that this probably has a ways to go on this card tonight. That's my belief. I could be wrong. We'll see.
I was zooming in right over here, the bottom right corner of the right patch. And I'm not sure if there's a hint of red peeking through there. There might be. And even though it might be a very little bit, it's an important little bit if it is in fact red peeking out of the corner there. Adam, the logo man out of 5 here, the Steph Curry logo man out of 5, BGS 9.5 subgrades. We have 2 10s. It's always to me special when you have a BGS 9.5 that has 2 10s, which are pristine surface and edges. And those are 2 subgrades that are often tough to find in pristine condition. Surface, cards are rubbing against each other in the packs. People are fanning them out when they're opening packs, that kind of thing. This one with a 10 surface, and I'm a surface guy, so I love that. And edges 10 as well. 9 on centering, which tough to see why it's not better than a 9 to me. So who cares? And a 9.5 on corners. If this centering was 10, this would have been a BGS 10. And to me, the centering is like, you can't be, I can't even see that it's off center. If it is, I don't even know if it is actually. That might be an undergraded centering there, Adam. But can you let us know a little bit about the nature of this logo man? Is it game used?
Yeah.
We'll check the back of it, but how rare are Steph Curry logo men's overall?
Yeah, I love that question. So notice the autograph grade on the back. You might not have noticed that it's autographed, but it is.
I didn't. I thought it was. Where's oh my gosh, I see it now. It's a sticker auto. I didn't realize this was autographed, guys. Oh my goodness. So, it is. It's just hard to see because it's over a dark part of his right there.
So a lot of people feel that the autographed logo man's like the highest and best form of a basketball card for a single player. A lot of people feel that way. Not everybody does. Some people would rather have a Prism Black. Some people would rather have a Superfractor. But a lot of people feel that an autographed logo man is the best. And then even greater than that is like a rookie logo man auto. The very best is the rookie logo man auto that also is a parallel or a variation, we call it, of the base set. This is all of those things except for the last one. It's not a variation of the base set. I'm telling you right now, if it was, it would be numbered 1 of 1, and it would be in the several $1 million range. That's the best card in the modern era, the Panini era, the Steph Curry autographed logo man from 2009 National Treasures. That's the one that the alt fund bought for like $6 million. It's a huge, ginormous, literally the biggest card in the whole Panini era. This is not that because the autograph is a sticker auto and because it's not a variation of the base set. So it's not the $6 million card. But if you want a logo man auto from Steph's rookie year, there's only a few of them. There's only 3 out of National Treasures. There's this one that's to 5, another one that's to 5, and then the 1 of 1. There's 11 total. And so the question that I've been asking, and I love people's different opinions on this. I'd love to hear the chat's thoughts on this. I think I know your thoughts on this, Jeremy, but I'd like to hear yours too. Would you rather have this one that is a logo man auto, Steph Curry from his rookie year, or would you rather have that true rookie that's out of 99 that's also in this auction? Jeremy, what do you think?
Well, in this case, I am going with the true rookie. And the I would have to think for me, and we're comparing this card up here versus this card down here. Yeah, I'm going with a true rookie in this case, mostly because I can't see the autograph on the logo man. So, if I could see the autograph on the logo man, I might come in with a different answer. The other thing about the logo man is we look at the back of the card, it says event worn swatch. So does that mean it's not from an official NBA game?
No,
in your opinion?
No, and that's the same as the RPA. The RPA is the exact same.
So then the real only difference, well, the main differences in that case are the numbering and the patch. One's a logo man, one is a patch from the jersey, and then of course one is a true RC and one is not. I'm going with the RC still, Adam. I'm going with the NT RPA. Plus, I'm not a logo man guy.
You're not a logo man guy, and that's to me. That's why I sort of thought I knew the answer from you, and everybody in the chat has agreed with that. I will tell you that the responses that I got to the same question were very mixed. They were very 50-50. But right now, the price, we might have some people a little bit who are like, is the price the thing that I should be looking at here? I don't know which one's going to sell for more. I don't know how much more we'll get out of either one of them. But if you are a Logoman auto collector, and if you want a rookie Steph, you don't see that card ever. Even if you can say what you want about, I hear you on the sticker. I actually didn't notice it first either. It is autographed. It is a sticker autograph logo man from his rookie year. It is that. And so is that going to be enough to drive it above that rookie? I'm not sure, but I think it's going to be a fun one to watch tonight.
And I also I have a rule for my PC, which I only have one exception in my whole card collection, which is no sticker autos. Now I would make some exceptions for special cards, especially, when you go into other sports where there's a lot of sticker autos, like in basketball. So I may be willing to make that exception if I had to, but we have an on-card auto right here for the RPA. So that's a big difference. As you mentioned, Adam, we're at $55,000 now on the LeBron James Essential Credentials Now RPA. I mean, this was at $34,000 just a couple hours ago, I believe. Pop 5, PSA 10. Any thoughts on what we might see out of this card tonight?
Man, stuff like this that's so low population, I never like to even guess. But I will say this, as far as like Fleer parallels, the only Fleer parallel that you're going to take over this are like one of ones. That Pop 5 number is a really small number for such a key card, Jeremy. Like that, This is what it shocked me to see this get. I mean, go look at the pricing sites. I think we've had this card sell in the six figures, and it won't surprise me if this does in the 6 figures tonight at all.
Yeah. Card Hub PH said, seems like Crosby and Ovechkin cards are still that far over anyone from Team USA.
McDavid.
What?
You said Ovechkin, sorry.
Oh, Crosby and McDavid cards are that far over anyone from Team USA. Yes, they are. I don't know how I misread that, but okay, I guess I'm so used to saying Crosby and Ovechkin together all the time. And Joe Perot says, it's a special night when there's a Premier Auction party and I'm watching hockey. Yeah, Joe is mostly a basketball and baseball. He's a basketball, baseball, football, but now he's hockey as well. All right, guys, let's go to look at some more cards. We got lots to get through here. We have a Connor McDavid, the Cup RPA. He is playing tonight in this epic hockey game. This is a BGS 9.5, and it's at $85,000. Now, I've seen all 99 patches from this product and of the print run, and most of them are 3-color like this, but this is a very nice 3-color patch. All sorts of color breaks, stitching, angles. I really like it. Autograph looks pretty good right down there. The autograph is graded out of 10 by Beckett Grading Services. Card looks nice to me from here. And that is his best rookie card as far as, a card that isn't out of like a 1-of-1 sort of thing. So big card right there. Right beside it at the same price. Imagine picking up this pair tonight. 03 Exquisite Kobe Bryant limited logos. Adam, this is a really nice copy. And what is this patch? Is that from the name? Is that a B from Bryant? I don't know where that comes from. Los Angeles Lakers.
It could be B or it could be R. I'm not sure which one it is. The thing that I'll say about this one is that 2003's Exquisite limited logos, I would do some research on patches. I don't know anything about this one. I'm not sure. But you always want to be careful on 2003's patches. Sometimes Beckett has graded them incorrectly and they shouldn't have. Again, I'm not saying that I don't know anything about this copy. I do not. But when you see a really nice patch like that, you always want to go do some research, make sure it's from the right sort of jersey, ask some people who are really smart. Card Collector 291 on Instagram. Mike Kramer's a guy who really knows that set really well. And I would always ask somebody like that. But that's an amazing patch and a great grade. A 9, and the autograph's fantastic too. It looks exactly like you want it to.
Yeah, I was just going to go take a look at the autograph right now. Yeah,
Sure.
that autograph is still very nice. Nice, bright and blue. I'm guessing the autograph. Yeah, the auto does grade out of 10 as well by Beckett Grading Services. All right. Starting with 2 nice cards there. And then we're going to finish off this row with the most iconic card in the whole hobby, the 1952 Topps Mickey Mantle. This is a PSA 4. I looked at this card earlier. It was yesterday, I think I actually looked at this card. And outside of the centering, which is not that bad for a 4, like it is what it is. A lot of these cards are off center. This is a really nice copy. The only thing that jumped out at me as being like low, from an eye appeal perspective is this, and it's minor, but this little white dot right here that might just be a little divot in the surface, but it's hardly anything. Like that wouldn't bother me as far as owning this in my collection. Of course, the corners are going to have some typical wear for a 4, but they're not that bad. The edges look nice and clean. I don't know if there's any wrinkles anywhere. It's going to be tough to say. But the most important part of this card is the image of the Mick himself. Looks great. The color is popping. This is the variation of the card that has the full black square outline around the Yankees logo, which is my preferred variation of the card. There are 2 variations. So I really, really like this copy. And $60,000 seems to be low for the moment to me. I can definitely see some more room to move on this one. Adam, any thoughts on the Mantle before we go to the next row?
I know that the eye appeal generally follows centering. Centering happens to be the one that seems like it's the most impactful. You surprised at all this isn't an eye appeal candidate? Like that registration, the image, it looks really nice to me. Is that why?
I just think it's too off center. It is a very nice 4. Outside of centering, this is just beautiful. Let's just have a look at the back as well. Make sure, even the back has a few like minor little like stain spots, maybe. Like there's this little black thing right there, not even black, a little bit gray. I don't know.
Great copy. Sorry, that's a great looking copy to me. That's one that sort of surprises me a little bit. That we've seen 4s that don't look nearly that good. I think.
Yeah, I think we both agree. We love this card for the grade. Even with if this thing was better centered, it's at least a 6. I gotta think it looks so good. Maybe a 5. Depends if there's corner and edge things that we're just not seeing. All right, next row, guys. Juan Soto, 2016 Bowman Chrome Red Refractor. PSA authentic with the 10 auto, only 5 copies. This is sitting at $55,000. Then we have, 2 of the biggest national treasures RPA of the ultra modern era, 2017 Patrick Mahomes and the 2018 your LA Laker. Well, not your, but of the LA Lakers, Luka Doncic, both BGS 9s. This is a pair of cards that if you could pick these up tonight, oh my goodness, are you one happy collector? Pop 11 on the BGS 9, Mahomes 6 higher, and the Luka is 0.5 away from being a BGS 9.5 itself. Great, and both 3-color patches with nice distribution of color, especially on the Luka. Adam, any thoughts on the pair?
Man, I feel like I have things to say about all of them, but actually I'm going to surprise you a little bit. The Soto is the one that is really worth looking at here for me, because outside of his Superfractor, I think a lot of people would say this is his second best card. And, Soto's a big name in the world of baseball. So this week, I had, I think, 4 or 5 different people reach out to me and say, did you find out anything about why this isn't an authentic holder? Somebody earlier in the chat, I think it was Brent, said something about it. The question here, I think that a lot of people are asking is this a card that somebody sent in? It was sent in a long time ago. I mean, it's in the 4s. I think you told me that's like, do you know how long ago that was? Like 6 or 7 years ago, maybe?
Yeah, 4s are not, it's not as long as you'd think, but it's probably in the 20, somewhere between 15 and 18, maybe 19 even. Yeah.
So was this a card that they sent in with a min 10, min 9?
Wait a sec. Hold on. This card itself is 2016. So it has to be, let's go 16 to 18 in there.
Right.
So Jay Mollico is saying 2019. So
2019.
2019.
But still, we're talking about 6-7 years ago. And the card is like, I mean, this is a really huge card. It's out of 5. It's the red. We all know the red's out of 5. And this is the iconic Soto. This is the big one. Like an orange to 25 is well into the 5 figures. A red is a huge card. And so seeing that authentic grade, I think everybody looks at it and goes, why is it in an authentic holder? Did somebody min grade it? Or is it one of those cards that has an issue? Or is it one of those cards that PSA doesn't feel comfortable putting a number on because it's too short? We don't know the answers to that. Either way, it's one of the biggest Soto cards. And, if I was somebody who bought this and I was looking to profit on easily, I think I would look to try to send it back in and see if I could get a numeric grade on it, because that's going to hold it back.
You probably would. You probably would be able to get a numeric. Listen, I say that with, do not buy this card because I said that. Not that anybody would, but you have a chance. There is a chance that would happen. Yeah. There's no doubt about that. And I just want to also say the autograph, just like Linda's first says, the kid has a killer signature, especially among today's signers. That autograph is beautiful. I think that the only thing that this authentic grade or designation does to this card is save you maybe a lot of money. And like Moliko says, it definitely hurt the potential sell price. I would think that's going to help the buyer out tonight for sure.
If let's say that you sent it in and it's an 8. Right. I'm not going to think about what it would be worth because I don't know how to do that, and I'd be wrong, and it's super hypey, and that's not what we're about. What I'd say though is that is going to cost you $4,000, right? PSA is going to charge you $4,000 to put that numeric grade on there, and that's if they believe that it deserves that. And so that always, to me, could be a reason why it hasn't been sent in, and then somebody needs money for something, and so they sell it, and that happens. And people who are able to take advantage of that sometimes can profit really significantly. And so that could be a flipper's dream, or, maybe there's a reason why it's in an authentic holder. But if somebody gets a chance to look real close, take a look and let us know.
Take a look at it. We got to move on because we're not even halfway through page 1, and the first window of extended bidding is about to end. So we're gonna go faster. I'm gonna start putting the stopwatch on Adam because he could talk for literally 12 minutes on each card, and we all love to hear it, but we just don't have the time. So I do have my stopwatch out, Adam. I'm going to limit you to 30 seconds per card. Okay, 2009 Topps Chrome Refractor Steph Curry. It's out of 500. This is a PSA 10. It's at 50,000. The card speaks for itself. Alexander Ovechkin, BGS 9 Cup RPA out of 99. One color patch, which I think is a wonderful thing for certain reasons at times. Just there are cards that do have not real patches in them. This one, you have no worries about that. 32 of 99, 9 on the card, 10 on the autograph, $26,000. That's a great card, guys. Game use patch as well on that. And then finally on the far right is the 03 Ultimate Collection LeBron James rookie patch auto. This is out of 25. Adam and I love this card. We talk about it a lot. Autograph is very nice on this one. Well, let me just make sure before I say that. I said that without zooming. Autograph is pretty nice on this one. It's not perfect. It's got some fading in this part over here, a little bit right over there right by the pressure point. But overall, you zoom out, it looks good. Hollow foil, one color jersey piece. Nice card overall. Only 25, Adam. What do you want to say about the LeBron or any of the other 3 there as well?
Steph is the rarest chrome refractor of a rookie that's significant that happened in basketball's history. Remember, it's numbered out of 500. Check the pop reports and compare it to the Kobe and the LeBron. It's not even close. And then the LeBron, you've got better eyes than I do. Along the right edge of the patch window, are you sure that's not a second color?
Oh, that might be a second color peeking through there. I think it is, actually. I think that's a little bit of the red peeking through right there. Brent says the auto on the LeBron for those is pretty nice. So he's saying compared to the other 24 in the run, that is a nice one right there. All right, guys. Next row, we have another Connor McDavid RPA from the Cup. This is a 2-color, a rare 2-color. I think only 3 of the 99 are not 3 colors. This is a 2-color BGS 9, 10 on the auto. Really nice card. And when you compare it to the one up here that's at 85,000 in a 3-color for a 9.5, this one is 32, almost a third of the price, just over a third of the price. And it's still a banger of a card right there. You might not be able to get one cheaper than this. In the middle is the 2012 Fleer Retro Essential Credentials Now Wayne Gretzky. This is out of 9. Probably my favorite card in the whole auction. You know, the future is the pink parallel. I own a copy of that in a 9.5. Boy, would I like to pair it up with this one. Absolutely love this card. Maybe one of my favorite Gretzky cards in existence. Top 10 for sure for me. Out of my range right now. Whoever buys it, please hold on to it for me. And Andy, if you're looking to pick this up tonight, Andy, hold on to it for me, buddy. Hold on to it for me. And then on the far right is the 03 Exquisite Noble nameplates. LeBron. This is a rookie year patch auto out of 25, BGS 9.5. Adam, this one's at $44,000. What do you want to tell us about this card with the beautiful hollow foil?
Well, we always talk about hollow foil around the patch window. So nice. The autograph here has been well taken care of, well preserved. I love that it's the older LeBron autograph, and it's from, I mean, it's a game used RPA, right? It's game used, and I believe, check the back, but I think it's game used, and it's from his rookie season, and that can't be said about his out of 99, you know, several $100,000 card. So
game used patch says it right there. Yeah.
So this is the world of cardboard. Try explaining this to your friends. It's 1/4 the population of the true rookie. It's game used versus event used. It's got just as nice of an autograph. It looks just as nice, but it's worth a fraction of the price.
All right, let's keep on rolling, guys. We have a 2020 Prism Gold Shimmer LeBron, number 10 of 10, PSA 10, pop 2 at $18,000. And then a couple of football cards, Patrick Mahomes, National Treasures Shield from 2018. It's a BGS 9 101 with the auto. And we also have the Randy Moss Ultra Masterpiece 1 of 1, PSA 5 on that. Grade doesn't even matter on that one, Adam. You know how rare these are in basketball. You know, the Mahomes Shield is very nice with the autograph, but this Gold Shimmer LeBron out of 10, PSA 10, 18.5. That seems like a lot of money. I'm not saying it's too much or that it's out of line with comps. I don't know. But can you give us justification for the value on this card? Why is it so valuable?
So you're right about the shimmer being something that typically brings it down. There's no question about that. If it was a regular gold, it would be a lot more expensive, way more expensive, especially in a 10. That's the story here, right? There's only 2 PSA 10s. But, you know, even in a shimmer, it's probably the second or third most iconic non-rookie Prism card. You know, there's just not a lot of them. Other than the 2012 LeBron, you're probably going to take 2020 because you get that great Kobe tribute dunk.
All right, guys, let's keep on rolling. Another one of my favorites in the auction is the 97 Metal Universe Championship PMG Shaquille O'Neal, numbered out of 50, BGS 8.5, pop 6.2 higher. It's at $28,000. An amazing card right there. On the far right, we have a Michael Jordan Fleer rookie sticker, PSA 10 with top 30% eye appeal from Fanatics. And in the middle is a Topps Now draft inscription orange Victor Wembanyama, numbered 5 out of 5. It's a pop 3. It maybe is stalled at 6,250. I wonder if that's got to do with the fact that he is out for the season now. But Adam, I mean, 3 basketball cards right here. This is your forte. This is your specialty. I know you could go on for half an hour probably on each of these because you are chock filled with knowledge. What do you want to, I'm gonna put it over to you. What do you want to say about these 3? What do you like the most here?
Briefly, can we scroll back up real fast? Just real fast. Sorry. The Randy Moss. I just did some research and I thought it was interesting. In 1998, in Ultra, it's a 425 card set. Take a guess how many of the 425 cards have been graded by PSA? What would you guess?
I mean, gosh,
because they're masterpieces, right? There's only 425 of them.
I'm gonna actually think it's a low number. I'm gonna say under 100.
Yeah, it's 24.
Yeah,
it's an incredibly low number. The reason that I bring that up is because some of these sets, there's a secondary sheet, and guys have been graded more than once. A total of 24 is a really good number on that card. So going back down, and sorry for the interjection there. I thought that was really interesting.
That's really interesting stuff.
I thought people would like to know that. So the Michael Jordan Fleer rookie sticker is way rarer than the rookie card is. Way rarer and way less expensive. So that's we're thinking about. It's actually the exact same number were created, but in a PSA 10, it is way rarer. I don't remember what the population is. If anyone wants to look that up, that would be interesting. Third period starting. I love it. And then the Shaq, it's, arguably a top 3 or 4 parallel of his. It's from that great 97 year. It's not the green. It's not worth the green is. It's not worth what the EC now is. But other than that, it's sort of like it's right there. It's like one of his best.
It's right around the red, I think. Right, we'll see what it sells for, but the Reds have been doing around this much, maybe a little bit more when they've come up recently, I believe. All right, guys, we're going to go to page 2 now. Speaking of essential credentials, there's the Tim Duncan rookie. This is a PSA 10 Pop 3, you guys. Big card, but after Michael Jordan, this might be the biggest card in the set. You got Jordan, you've got Shaq, is Kobe in the set? Yeah.
It's tough because remember the EC nows have like the different numbering. So like the stuff that's really rare is worth
a low. Right. Yeah. Didn't we just see an Allen Iverson sell for like $750,000?
$750,000. Yeah.
Yeah.
So but for Duncan, go back to that question about like, where does this fit amongst his best cards? Well, if you discount one of ones, then you're talking about the green, you're talking about the future from this, which is numbered to like 6 or 5 or something, 7. And then you've got like the PMG champ and the rubies. And then this, it's like a top 5 or 6 Duncan card. And then it's one of 3 PSA 10s. And I know we both agree, like it's gorgeous. It's a beautiful card.
Beautiful card. Great card. We've got the Fleer Brilliance Randy Moss, numbered out of 24 karat gold. Randy Moss out of 24 is a PSA 8. It's a $24,000, just like the gold quality. And on the far right is the Playmakers Theater Michael Jordan. This one's cool. It's numbered 100 out of 100. It's a PSA 5. Which is, it's got some problems. It's still at $28,500. And if we just look, what makes it a 5? We do have some edge and corner chipping, top edge over here, both of the top corners, a little bit of a surface issue right there. Edge chipping as we come down, not a lot, but there is some bottom right corner also has some issues. I think the biggest knock against this card, though, is going to be this surface paper loss scratch right there. These cards are absolutely beautiful. I'm the proud owner of a Shaquille O'Neal. Absolutely love it. Adam, what do you make of the fact that this is a PSA 5? Because if this is a PSA 9, it's well north of $100,000, I believe still. But this is, like, to me, this is an opportunity to get one of the 100 copies, and this is 100 out of 100, at a nice, relatively low price. Do you feel the same way?
Yeah, the 5 doesn't bother me even a little bit. That little bit of white doesn't bother me. It came out of a $2 pack of cards, and the fact that it survived makes it, probably in the minority. I wish we could know. We can sort of guess based on looking at the populations, but I wish we could know how many of these were destroyed. Because, when cards come out of low dollar products, especially back in the 90s, a lot of kids got these, and a lot of these ended up in the garbage. So I would guess there's less than 50 of them in the world, and I obviously love it because it's a card that I own. But yeah, a 5. We haven't seen one of these sell in a little while, so it's. I think a lot of people are going, I wonder what that will do. 5 doesn't bother me a little bit.
Cheap product reminds you of the Hoops High Voltage. A lot of those probably just did not survive. Okay, we're going to keep on going. 2017 Optic Green Patrick Mahomes, only 5 copies. This is a BGS 9.5. I like Optic. I think it's a beautiful design. I love the Rated Rookies logo up there in the top left. This is a beautiful card. 15.5 for this very rare Mahomes rookie card. In the middle, speaking of green, is the 1997 Metal Universe PMG Green Emmitt Smith, numbered 15 of 15. It's a PSA 5, just like the Playmakers Theater Jordan was. But this one, okay, at a distance here, I don't see much wrong with it. I mean, I do see a little bit of white showing on the right edge over here, but my goodness, I got to zoom in to see what else is bringing this down to a 5. And as I scroll through, I mean, it's not perfect. You see maybe some light surface issues right there, some minor chipping on the border, but that, I mean, we've seen like much higher grades with that as well. Don't know what this white stripe coming down the left edge is. That might just be the light reflecting off of the card stock in the middle. That might not be on the surface of the card. I mean, unless there's a wrinkle somewhere, we're going to go look at the back though, just to see. This is a big, big card. Is there something on the back I mean, corner touch right over there. I don't know, Adam, unless there's something I'm not seeing that is significant, which is very possible. This seems to be very conservatively graded. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think, a few years ago, maybe 5 years ago or so, PSA started being really rough on difficult 90s cards. They won't, I don't think they've ever made a statement about this, but from a lot of us who collected at the time and watched, like, they got really tough on cards like this. I will say sometimes on a card, on these greens and reds, there's white that shows up through the green. Like, you can see the white of the stock, and it's easier to see in person because you'll tilt it side to side and you'll notice that it's not shining through where it should. And so that might be happening, like where you were pointing out maybe the surface stuff. That might be happening there, but I agree. The other thing I'd add on this card is I saw on Instagram the guy who is selling it. He's like, I never was going to sell this card. But I bought another copy that's in a higher grade, and so I'm letting it go. But that's how these cards get available. Like, this is maybe Emmett's best card in existence. That's not a hot take. A lot of people would agree with that. So this or the Gem Masters from the subsequent year, I think.
$40,000 right now on this one. It's a pop 1, 4 graded higher. Brent did say bottom left on the Emmett, so maybe that is something there that I pointed out earlier. Although he says what's interesting is there's a PSA 7 with the same bottom left white showing. Thank you, Junk Wax Museum. Appreciate that nice comment. And then we have a 99 SP Authentic Sign of the Times Gold Kobe Bryant out of 25, PSA 8, pop 2, 1 graded higher. Let's take a quick look at the autograph on this one. It looks to be very, very nice. It is graded out of 10, and that autograph is holding up quite nicely right now. All right, let's go back here and see what we have in the next row. We've got a Prism Gold Lamar Jackson, PSA 10, pop 3, numbered 1 of 10 at $32,000. We have what might be my favorite of all the Ovechkin patches in his Cup RPA print run. And I know this, I've known of this particular card for 20 years now, or since maybe 19 years since it came out. I think you guys are going to laugh because I've owned like 5 of these over the years. I might have owned this card at one point in time, way, way, way back in time. I just feel like I've seen it so much. I don't remember if I actually owned this one or another one, or one that looked somewhat like it. But 28.99, it's a 5 on the auto. Sorry, a 5 on the card. It's a 10 on the auto, but the card looks to me to be an amazing shape. It is off center, left to right. You can look at these little rivets here and the distance between that and the edge versus on the left-hand side, but the autograph is well placed in the autograph section, and that patch is just gorgeous right there. Big fan of that card. And then a LeBron James SP Authentic autographed rookie card, PSA 10 on that one. Adam, how tough are these to find in Gem 10 holders?
I don't know that off the top of my head, but I don't think we see them very often in 10s.
I don't think so. How do you like the Ovechkin patch?
I love the patch on that because we've seen a lot of those. We haven't seen a patch that looks that nice. I did want to tell you too, as far as like bids that have come in recently, 2 cards are just on fire right now in the auction, and that's the Superfractor of Wembanyama LeBron that we sort of went past at the top. It has completely blown up. And then the other one is the Steph Logoman auto, which, remember I said earlier, I thought there was a chance it might catch up. Well, it has. It's caught up with the NTRPA. So
130 now on the logo, man. 100,000 now on the Superfractor of LeBron James and Wembanyama right there. Okay. No, good action happening as we run through these cards, guys. The gold SP Authentic LeBron James here, BGS 9, the gold at 20,500, and the regular is at 21,000. This one's out of 500. This one's out of 50. It would blow my mind, Adam, if the one out of 50 sold for less than the one out of 500, despite the fact that the one out of 500 is a PSA 10 and the one out of 50 is a BGS 9. This should, in my mind, this gold out of 50 with 1/10 of the print run should sell for 4 times what this one up here will sell for out of 500. What do you think of that?
I love it when we disagree, but we're 100% on the same place here. I know people love their 10s, and if that's what they collect, then that's fine. Let them do them. But aesthetically, Jeremy, in hand, these two cards are like night and day. The out of 50 is not just rarer, it is so much better looking with the hollow foil that really shines. You can't see it when it's flat like this. You can a little bit, but in person, that SP Authentic out of 50, it is a gorgeous card.
It is beautiful. Frankie Gonzalez in the house, as this show always makes me spend more money. Well, Frankie, and to everybody, if you are bidding on cards tonight in the auction, please click on the Sports Cards Live affiliate link. It is pinned to the top of the YouTube chat, and we'll be very grateful for any time you do that. SCL will earn in this auction, a nice little commission, and greatly appreciate that. If you do, Frankie, that'd be awesome. Guys, thank you very much when you do that. Okay. Tom Brady, 2002 top Super Bowl MVP patch auto out of 150. And let's have a quick look at this, because these cards don't always have the nicest autos, but this one is a 10 and this autograph is banging. Beautiful. 135 out of 150 copies. Look, I mean, you got the US flag in the background. That's a beautiful thing right there, guys. Adam, this is a beautiful card. And then you've got the LeBron James SB Signature Edition, famous nicknames, numbered out of 25, BGS 95, inscription, pop 7, 2 higher, $32,000. Kind of a nice row of cards here overall, Adam. Any thoughts on the Brady or the LeBron?
I was just gonna say what you just said. It might be my favorite row so far, as like my tastes in cards, because all three of them are so well preserved. I think you don't think about any of them being like the player's best card, but Brady, man, like I've seen so many of these Bradys that the autographs are just torched, right? Like the light has gotten to them and they're so bad. But that LeBron right there on the left too, with that inscription, it's amazing. He was signing that 22 years ago. It's incredible.
Unbelievable. So, here's another one of my favorites is the Ken Griffey Jr. Essential Credentials, numbered out of 91 from 1998, BGS 95, pop 5, none higher. I love this. If I could have picked up this in the Gretzky tonight, I would have been very happy, but not in the cards for me, pun not intended. In the middle is, I'm sure, one of Adam's favorites, the 06 exquisite number pieces, Kobe Bryant. Let's take a quick look at this. 8 on the card, 10 on the auto. Auto is absolutely stunning, you guys. Look at that, holding up beautifully, 15 of 24. Both patch pieces are 2 color as well. I love this card. This might be my favorite row so far, Adam, between the Griffey, the Kobe, and a PSA 8 Wilt Chamberlain 61 Fleer rookie as well, which we'll take a look at. But I'm going to open that up. What do you want to say about the Kobe? I know you got something. Yeah,
you do know that I'm going to say something about the Kobe. The Kobe is his third number pieces. And we already said in the show, number pieces are viewed by a lot of the ultra high-end community as like the insert. It's that and the emblems of endorsement that are the best ones. But Jeremy, the first 2 of Kobe's number pieces are each well into the 6 figures, like well into the 6 figures. And it's because they're numbered out of 8. Kobe changes his jersey number. He doesn't have a card in 2005. There is no number pieces of Kobe in 2005. And then in 2006, this card is made, giving us the first somewhat affordable Kobe number pieces. I've always wanted one of those first ones out of 8. The ship has sort of sailed on that. I'm probably never going to get one, but this is one that I like and I'm interested in because, like I said, I could kind of sort of afford it.
It's an amazing piece. Absolutely beautiful card right there. And then we have the PSA 8 Wilt Chamberlain rookie card from 61. Let's take a peek at this because this is a big card. Big card. Yeah, the centering is nice. It's not perfect, but it's well within 8 standards at PSA, even since they've changed their grading standards back in January. You've got great color on this. Minimal registration issue, but you do see a little bit of the white under the armpit here, which is very typical. My copy has it too. Deep on the magenta here. It's a great copy in my estimation. This is a new slab, but an old cert number in a new slab. It has been reholdered, and it does look nice in this holder. Adam, what do you think of this copy?
I trust your thoughts on it better than I do mine. But yeah, it's an old cert, but it's been recently reslabbed. Obviously not perfect on the centering, but you know what, Jeremy? How many 8 Wilt Chamberlain PSA or how many 8 Chamberlain 61s are there? iconic, and it's an amazing shape.
Yeah, it is. It's an absolute beauty for sure. Okay, let's keep on rolling. Another one of my, I got lots of favorites tonight. The cut above Michael Jordan. You might have thought I was going to say the LeBron RPA here, but no, I love the cut above Michael Jordan. This is a BGS 9.5 True Gem Plus. You do have 10 on edges, which is nice because these cards, I want to see what they mean by that. And if I agree with that, 10 on, oh, sorry, it's 10 on centering, 9.5 on edges. And what I was thinking of, you do see a little bit of fray sometimes within the saw blades here, like right there. So, but I don't know if that hurts the grade or not. I'll also point out that you do see some, what you might think is surface damage in this area here and coming down here, but that is almost guaranteed to be on the, the Beckett slab, which is very friendly to scratches on them. So there seems to be some over there too. Those will not be on the card, guys. Those will definitely be on the Beckett slab. Love that card. But Adam, I'm sure you love the exquisite LeBron James RPA right here. What do you think of it?
Yeah, it looks like from the out, if you can get closer on it, it looks like it's got a pretty well preserved autograph. And it's maybe not perfect, but I love the long form autograph. I don't mind that the patch is not perfect. It's a simple 2-color, but it is game used. It's almost identical in rarity to the RPA out of 99. And then I wanted to say something about the Jordan, but do you have another thought on this one?
Well, I just think the autograph is not as tight as you might have mentioned. What is the autograph grade? The autograph grade's a 10. I mean, this autograph is not a 10 anymore. Maybe unless these are scratches on the slab that make it look like it's on the autograph, but this autograph does have issues, is my opinion on it. The card does have the NBA gold sticker, so saying it's, very strong for a BGS 9 right there. So pretty interesting stuff.
Good call on the autograph. It might have spent a little bit more time in the light than it should have, but I don't think those lines are on the auto. I think those lines are on the case, but I could be wrong. I just don't think it would have gotten a 10. But and then on the Jordan I love because as of 1996, you're good. As of 1996, I think you can make the case that's the nicest Jordan insert in the world. Like it changed the next year, but in 96, I think it was the nicest Jordan insert.
Yeah, I would not disagree with that at all. Guys, I'm looking at some comments. Appreciate them all coming in. We'll get to a bunch more later. We do want to get through as many cards as we can as we are making our way through the extended bidding window here. Although all cards will end at the same time tonight, everybody. All cards will end at the same time. We have a Lionel Messi Flawless Finishes Ruby Auto, numbered out of 15. Very nice card at $24,000. A Mahomes Contenders Optic PSA 10 at $15,000, and a dual sign of the times LeBron James Michael Jordan out of 50 at $19,000. These autos look really good, but oh yeah, these autos look beautiful. See, not all autos are the same. These are very nicely laid down. 42 of 50. You can see LeBron's auto did go out of the autograph zone a little bit, just a little bit. So you have a little bit of bubbling over there. That generally doesn't bother me, believe it or not, personally, but it might bother some people. Overall, a great card right there, in my opinion. And a triple auto of Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, and Drew Brees from 2019 Immaculate. Only 5 of these were ever produced. I love the color on these autos on this acetate sort of layer on the card, Adam. Just beautiful. Number 3 of 5 right there in the black. All 3 GOAT type players right there, Adam. I'm going to go back to you for your thoughts on these 3 cards, please.
Well, the Mahomes Contenders, we haven't seen that card that much, I don't think. I'm not sure. It's not numbered, is it? It's a PSA 10. I wonder what the pop is on that, but just because we don't see it that often. The point I wanted to make on the dual is that on the dual autograph, you talked about that area that goes just out of the window. In general, I agree. It doesn't really bother me, but in some cases, I think it's almost additive to the card. And I know this is going to sound strange, but I like that you don't have to question whether it's on a sticker. You can sort of look at it and immediately know, oh, they signed the card. And in this case, I don't like that it's bubbling a little bit, but I like that your eyes know immediately that's on the card.
Definitely.
You agree, or is that crazy?
I mean, I I don't know how much. I mean, you say, it's not a sticker. Well, you can find out if it's a sticker or not. So that doesn't really help me, but so no, I don't think I agree.
Okay.
It's a convenience, but is it a benefit? I don't know. I think that's a bit of a stretch myself.
Okay,
But
fair.
a fun.
I do like it though. I do actually, because especially on sets like that where you don't know off the top of your head, it's just nice. But yeah, I get it. It's not for everybody.
I love the card despite that. And I do not like faded autos. I don't mind that at all. All right, let's keep on going. UD3 Court Commemorative Michael Jordan auto. This is at $16,000. Another Jordan auto on the far right here from 86 Star Basketball. It says rookie here. I don't think we'd consider this a rookie from Star, so that must be a mistake in the titling department at Fanatics Collect. It's a BGS 7.5 with a 9 on the auto. And I mean, look, it's hard to say that this is not a beautiful autograph. I mean, look at that thing. Gold paint pen, jumps off the card. I mean, any other color, maybe silver would work as well, but not even as well, I don't think, as the gold. This works better than black or blue, in my opinion. Great image of Michael Jordan about to go in for the dunk. Why is the card? Have we seen this one before, Adam? Because why is the autograph graded a 9? Like, there's nothing wrong with that autograph, you silly autograph graders at Beckett. Why is that autograph graded a 9, Adam? What am I missing?
I don't think you're missing anything other than the super thick autographs generally from Beckett these days, are basically impossible to get a 10 on. So I think it looks exactly like it should. Just to add a little bit more context here, this came out of a Michael Jordan only set, a 10 card set out of 1986. In fact, if you scroll in on the flip, I think it'll have a number that says something between 1 and 10. I don't know what number the Pro Stats card
number
is.
4.
Yeah, so I think I may be mistaken. I think it's from that 10 card set. The reason why I think Fanatics is within the liberties of calling this a rookie card is this is produced before the 86 Fleer, and the 86 Fleer is considered a rookie. And so I think that's what their take. You're shaking your head. I don't totally.
No, I mean, there's 2 years of star cards. Yeah, I mean, there's 2 years of star cards. If that was their rationale, that means there's 3 years of rookies. That's just that. I mean, listen, I have so much respect for your thoughts on these things. So I don't want to just say I'm shutting this down, but I want to shut this down because there's no way it's a rookie card. Frankie, who's like a Jordan expert, says it's definitely not a rookie.
Again, I'm not saying I would call it a rookie either. I'm saying if you're going to call the 86-87 Fleer a rookie, which a lot of people do, then calling anything prior to that a rookie, I don't think is insane. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. All right. And then we have the dual Kobe LeBron auto. Very nice card right there. We're going to keep on going though, guys. Let's move on to page 3. Oh, look at those. Oh yeah, we saw that one already. Going to page 3 right now. Kobe limited logos from 06 Exquisite. We've got a LeBron limited logos from 07 Exquisite. Boy, Adam, how nice would it be to be able to pick up that pair right there? And from your Los Angeles Lakers, a Luka Doncic Crown Royal Kaboom PSA 10 Pop 8 right there in the middle. Adam, would you like to add those 2 bookend limited logos to your collection? Are they cards that would fit in?
Of course. Yeah, absolutely. 2 amazing patches on 2 great limited logos cards.
Back to the auto. I'm Only Sleeping here said it's a bit illegible compared to most of Jordan's autos. And I just wondered, is that because of the thick gold paint pen? Because it wouldn't bother me at all. And illegibility is not a knock against the grade, right? So, yeah, I have no idea why they did that. All right, Barry Sanders, Essential Credentials now, right in the middle here, out of 30. Boy, if I could have won that, the Gretzky and the Griffey tonight, I'd be a very happy man. I love these. I love this card. PSA 10 Pop 2. This is an absolute beast of a card, Adam. I think 17,000 is criminally low for it. Personal opinion. Kobe Bryant Flair Showcase Legacy, numbered out of 150, PSA 9 on the left here at 19,000, and his Flair Showcase Legacy out of 20 from 1999 on the right in the PSA 8. This one's at $20,000. It's a Pop 2, 3 graded higher. Adam, the 99 is at 20,000. The 96 is at 19,000. One's out of 150, one's out of 20. Huge difference there. Doesn't make a difference on the LeBron SP Authentics, apparently, but it makes a difference on Kobe non-rookies for some reason. Personally, I'm not a fan of showcases legacies at all, but I do prefer the 96 design here with the blue foil on it. What are your thoughts?
Oh, this is a really interesting comparison. If you were to ask me which of those two I'd rather have, I would have to think about it for a long time. So it's
I know which one you would go with.
I don't think you do, because I don't know.
I do. That's the funny thing. I know ahead of you because I know how you are going to want the 1999 copy because you like rare, like player first and then rarity for you. Is what I sense. And I think you'd want the 1 out of 20. If I'm wrong, I'm happy to be wrong, but I think so.
When push comes to shove, you might be right. I will say this though. I've always said this about the Kobe rookies. He has 3 rookies that are like head and shoulders above the rest. And I have 2 of the 3. The one that I'm missing is that one. And so the Rose Zero Legacy is, along with the credentials, out of 499 and the top Storm Refractor. Those are his best 3 rookie cards. And this is the lowest numbered one, but it's, I think, also 3rd in the pecking order out of those 3. So it's the one that I've taken the longest to sort of go out and pick up. And when I do pick one up, I'll pick up like a really low grade one just because I just really want it. But the 99, it's really, I could go on and on about it, and I know you don't want me to, so I will just say this: the fact that it's out of 20 makes it one of just a few cards from the 90s that are that rare, that are parallels. It's like this, in 98 you've got the 24 karat golds that are close, you've got the greens, but it's worth nothing close to those. And what I love about it is in this year's showcase, you don't have 3 rows, you've got 1. This is it. The font down below that says Bryant is in this really like sparkly platinum-y sort of look. I've only ever owned one of these cards from the set. It was a Ewing, and I thought, gosh, that's a really pretty card, and it's super rare. So for all those reasons, I would love to own the card, but it's not as significant in any way as the 96 that we were just looking at. It's just not. It's like a later year. It's a year of showcase that people don't know as well. This is like one of his prime significant cards. So I would really struggle, honestly, to pick one. But you're right about me. I usually would go with the rare one. This one, I think it's
Mollico says the out of 20 is so much nicer. Not like I like the 1 out of 150. I like this card better. Yeah. I do like the image here, but that sepia kind of blurred out background doesn't do much for me. Although I do love the way you can see him holding the ball here. That's really cool. But I do prefer this card personally to this card, just personal opinion. Okay, let's keep on rolling. A couple of super fractors. We've got the Kevin Garnett from 2005, and we've got the Wilt Chamberlain from 2008. Garnett's at 13,000, Wilt Chamberlain's at 7,750. And then on the far right is a Connor McDavid 2015 Cup Spectrum, not an RPA, but a rookie auto. This is a parallel to the RPAs that we've seen. PSA 10 and 10 on the card as well. That's a beast right there. 24 copies produced. Pop one, $23,500. That's a huge card. Let's go back to the super fractors though. Adam, I love how they're kind of in the same position, even though, you know, Garnett's going in for he's just coming off a dunk, and looks like Wilt is on the rebound there. Which do you like better? Which would you want more in your collection?
The Garnett. By a lot.
That was quick. It
yeah.
doesn't. Who has more super fractors?
Garnett has way more super fractors. I could talk forever about this one, so cut me off because
just say you could say a few words, or we could bring on our surprise guest for the night if he's ready and wants to give me a thumbs up. We can bring on. We have a surprise guest. Everybody, are you ready to go? Give me a thumbs up. I can't hear you. I can only see you. Give me a thumbs up if you're ready to come on the screen. He's giving me guys. Please welcome Ryan Tedmus from Fanatics Collect back onto the show. Ryan, how are you?
Good, Jeremy. How are you?
I am good. I knew you had some kid activities tonight, but you were able to break away. It's good to have you. Thanks for coming on.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
You bet. Adam, what do you think? Ryan's here.
Well, when Ryan gets here, everything gets better. So I'm excited to hear his answer to the question that we just asked, which is, and he probably heard us ask it. Ryan, which of these two cards would you rather have, the Garnett or the Wilt?
I didn't actually hear that. That's a tough question. Both are extremely great cards, obviously extremely rare. One of one superfractors. You never see these pop up. For me, I'm taking Chamberlain. Wilt is still go. I mean, what's it sitting at? 77.50 right now with BP. I mean, that seems like a steal to me.
I'm with you. I would take Wilt as well, simply because he has so fewer. And I love this design, but I understand going for the Garnett too. It's also, I love that design too. It's also an absolutely beautiful card. Deep is taking Kevin Garnett all day long as well. It doesn't surprise me knowing Brent and how he collects. He likes his modern current players. What's that? What's that, Ryan?
No, Brent. Wilt.
There's nothing wrong.
Jesse Craig is taking the Wilt all day, just like me. Just like me.
There's nothing wrong with either answer, for sure. But so Wilt has only 2 chrome superfractors and Garnett has 6. But, you know, if you look at Garnett's best cards, like you say, what are his best cards? You're going to talk about Logoman autos and stuff like that. But then you get to the rare 90 stuff. You got like the PMG green, and then the essential credentials now of Garnett is numbered to 2. So that's like probably $750,000 card. So that's the answer. But then you have these years of superfractors. He has his first one in 2004. He has his last one in 2009. And those are some of his best cards in existence. For Wilt, he'd been retired for 34 years at this point. And so when you think about key Wilt cards, it's not part of his canon of like his career. Like, this is Garnett's 10th year in the league. He hadn't even gone to Boston yet. I don't think this is close. And just me being real, like I think the Wilt's a great card, and I'm not looking down on anybody else's opinion, but I think the Garnett is a key card to his canon, to his collectors. I don't think the Wilt is in the same way, other than that he only has two chrome superfractors. And as we always say, reasonable people can disagree.
No doubt, no doubt. Well, so Deep says KG is modern, just like Westbrook is, I would say. I'm Only Sleeping says playing days only. Joe Pro's taking Garnett. Mollico's taking Garnett. Joe Pro says playing days. Deep says, for me, it's about playing days versus decades later. Wilt, that's very fair. W Edits, the coolest card in my opinion is a Mickey Mantle rookie card. It is pretty darn cool. And Jesse Craig says, looks like we have a bunch of uneducated basketball fans in the room. Frankie's shaking his head.
Like, I have to add real quick, Jesse hates Kevin Garnett more than anyone has ever hated somebody. So I had no question he would take Wilt over KG.
All right, guys, keeping on moving. 2018 courtside tie-dye prism Luka Doncic rookie out of 25 PSA 10 pop 3, $14,500. In the middle is a Kobe Innovation Kaboom PSA 10 at $14,000, and on the far right is an amazing Tom Brady gold patch from Immaculate PSA authentic on the card, 10 on the auto. Again, 5 copies, game worn 3-color patch, you guys. I love this card. I want to have a look. Oh, the autograph is smoking. And when I say that, I mean, it's a good look at that. Just beautiful blue, no light parts, absolutely beautiful. Love the 3-color patch. That is a banger of a card right there, you guys. Right there. Adam, thoughts on any of those 3? And then we'll go to you too, Ryan. We're going to keep the 30 seconds on the row.
I love the Brady so much. When the 1-of-1 Brady popped up with the shield at the Sotheby's Fanatics Collect Auction, I actually figured out a way to get in a bid on that. I had something lined up, and then it just blew out everything. But like, I don't even like Brady, but I love this card so much. It's awesome.
It's a beautiful. And look at that. You banked 12 seconds there. Ryan, what are your thoughts on these 3 cards, if any?
Yeah, I mean, I like the courtside tier for the Luka. Obviously, an awesome Kaboom Kobe there. And then, of course, as Adam mentioned, you had the Shield Tom Brady from this particular year. So for $450,000 plus, I mean, this seems like an absolute steal. 22K plus BP.
Beautiful card. All right, we have the Ichiro 2001 Bowman Chrome Japanese Gold Refractor, only 99 copies produced, and this one is at $12,500. It's a PSA Mint 9. We've got the dual auto, dual jersey, Michael Jordan, LeBron James from 2006 SP Game Used, numbered out of 15. It's a BGS 95, pop 1, none higher. And then we have another SP Authentic LeBron James rookie. This is out of 500. We had the PSA, I think it's a 10 above, or is it a BGS 9.5? I don't remember exactly, but this is a PSA 9 at $9,250. Ryan, I want to ask you your thoughts on something. We have the PSA 9 SPA LeBron over here. And then was it on the first page, Adam, where we had the other two?
I don't remember.
No, it must have been on page 2 of the auction over here. As we scroll, oh, here we go. Here's the PSA 10 at 21,000. So the gold is now a little bit higher at 21.5, and then we have the PSA 9 at 92.50. What do you think, Ryan? How much more valuable should the gold LeBron James be than the regular out of 500, even though it's graded a BGS 9 versus PSA 10? Real quick, what do you think?
Well, in theory, it should be 10 times greater the value of the PSA 9. But with that being said, I think, I don't know. I think a great price on that particular card is maybe the 75K region. I mean, seems like a pretty great steal at that value. The gold.
Me too. To me, it's far and above the PSA 10 of the regular. Deep says, give me an out of 50 in any grade over a PSA 10 out of 500. Yeah, totally. He says card is more important than the grade. In many cases, I certainly do agree with that. Non-commodity cards, I definitely agree with that.
Hey, Jeremy, can we go back to the Ichiro real quick?
Yep.
And I know Adam has some thoughts on this one, but I know the Japanese, I believe it's limited to actually only 49 produced, as the English is produced to 50 manufactured. So although it says of 99, only 49 of the Japanese exist.
And then only 50 of the English exist.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's unbelievable. Yeah. What a gorgeous card too. This card is almost 25 years old. And it's, I just love the looks of it. Absolutely. All right, let's keep on rolling, guys. We have a row of Jordans here, 2 autos and a rookie card, a 86 Fleer rookie. So we'll start with the SP Authentic Sign of the Times Gold, BGS 9 at 26,500. The Exquisite Enshrinements out of 25, BGS 9, Pop 6, 2 higher. And we'll look at these autographs. And then the 86 Fleer, this is an SGC 9.5. Might be a real good opportunity here. I think, is this what Deep is saying has great centering? Because I looked at this card earlier and I also thought that this was very strong for, I'm not going to say it's strong for an SGC 9.5. What I was going to say was it's kind of a strong card compared to PSA 9s or BGS 9s or PSA 10s. Like, you just don't know. The only thing I could see that stuck out to me about this card was like a little bit of, I don't even want to call it chipping. It just might be fray. That's kind of, it's like it might be a fray comb over coming over to kind of impede a little bit of the blue there. I'm not sure. This is a very, very nice copy. And I wonder, if this was in a PSA holder, if it would sell for more. I don't know. Adam, do you have any thoughts?
No, I just agree with you. Great thoughts.
Ryan, how about you? Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I love that card. Beautiful 9.5 Mint Plus example. I don't remember exactly. I mean, I've seen so many cards on a daily basis, but I don't remember exactly why it didn't receive an eye appeal assessment. I think it's off a little bit top to bottom, but otherwise an absolute stunner.
Yeah, great copy. I could easily see that in a I don't know, like a PSA 9 holder. I was going to say PSA 9s don't sell for, I don't think are selling for quite this much. A little bit like close, but not quite there. So this might be a bit of a premium over a PSA 9. And then these autographs, the SPA Gold looks to be, like, from this angle, absolutely beautiful. I want to get a closer look on this. Oh, this one looks nice too. Is the autograph graded on this card? Let's just go over here and take a quick look. Grades out of 10. Looks really good to me. Not super perfect, but very, very nice nonetheless. And just a really nicely designed card as well, in my opinion. And then this one, yeah, look at that. Just bright blue on that autograph. Like, it doesn't get any better than that. That's a perfect Jordan auto. That is all day a 10, in my opinion. Adam, what do you think of those two Jordan autographs?
So it's like, if you compare them, it's like the Exquisite is maybe the nicest aesthetic autograph ever, like in terms of the set. I know that's like sounds like hyperbole, but the 04 Exquisite Enshrinements autographs in hand, because it's signed on holofoil, it's just unbelievable. It's so pretty. And then the other one is one of his earliest 90s autographs, and so it's been well preserved. It looks exactly like you want it. And I always love this card because it's such a big signature. So if I was to choose which one of these two, I would take this one. But man, I would love that Enshrinements. That's one of his nicest autograph cards ever. Seriously.
It's a great picture of him too. I do love this, but this is far and away the winner for me. And I think I didn't even realize, but you said it, Adam, early auto, 1998, guys. 98, 99. And look at how wonderfully, I want to know from Fanatics Collect who this consigner is, because whoever it is should write the book on how to store your autograph cards. It might be as simple as put them in a box and in the dark corners of a closet, because they did a wonderful job keeping this card in great shape. The autograph for sure. Just love it. Ryan, anything to add before we go to the next row? Okay.
I mean, you guys nailed it. Playing days, autograph production. I love the die cut issue, and I love that huge autograph along that white strip along that right border, and very well preserved. I mean, that's my choice all day.
All day. Dunkachino says, good evening, guys. Can't be picky with any MJ on card auto. And Brent says he was actually talking about the Ichiro for the centering. So I want to go take a look at that, because I didn't really inspect that. But from here, I think he is bang on right. When you look at this, you look at those left and right edges or borders, they seem to be exactly perfectly centered. Top to bottom, harder to assess, but left to right, bang on. Good call out there by Deep Value Investor. All right, back to here. We're getting to the bottom row, I believe. Two more rows here. Jordan LeBron dual auto clear cut combo upper deck trilogy combo clear cut. We have a Kaboom Luca from Crown Royale. It is a PSA 10 Pop 4 and a Chronology Timeless Memories Michael Jordan auto at a 99. These do very well. They are gorgeous. They're a canvas type of card. Adam, I'm going to start with you. What do you want to talk about first here?
Well, even before we get there, real quick on the auction watch, we've seen two cards take huge jumps. The Tim Duncan credentials that we looked at earlier is all the way to 44 grand. And the dual superfractor of Wemby LeBron is all the way to 140 grand. So seeing huge jumps there. And now we've seen a couple of bids also on the biggest card of the night, the dual number pieces of MJ LeBron, the 23 of 23. I think most of us suspected that it had a ways to go, given that, especially that serial number. So it's good to see that. But did you want to, sorry, I can't remember where we were. Do you remember?
Right here.
Okay.
These three cards. Pick whichever one you'd like to speak to.
Sorry, Adam, real quick. Even on the dual, the number pieces MJ LeBron, I think that has a ways to go, even at 220, in my opinion.
Please don't think I was saying that it was done by any means.
No. Yeah, I mean, I'm impressed that it's gotten some late hits, but I still think it's.
You just never know on a card like that. That's so like that serial number. I made the case earlier, Ryan. Other than like dual logo man autos, it's got a case for being the best dual of those two in existence. So
right up there
on these three, we could talk about each of the three for a while, but the question that I would ask right now on Luca Gold stuff, this might be, I think, some people might think I'm reaching on this a little bit, but when you look at Luca and you see gold now, you have to remember he plays for the purple and gold. Like I think his early gold stuff has more appeal now than it did, because there's a pretty good chance we're going to end up really thinking about him as a Laker as time goes by, and it's just neat to see the gold there. It's a little thing, but it's is one of his biggest gold cards. It's a huge card.
What did you start off by saying you might think I'm stretching here? Did you start with that?
I did start with that. Yeah.
Okay. No, just curious.
I just like it. I know it's weird to say like you really like something, but I do. I think that's kind of a cool thing.
We all have, as collectors, we are My friends from the Hockey Cards Gong Show podcast like to say something like irrational subjectivity or something like that when we when we assign reasons or we come up with reasons why we like something, and the reason that you just gave because he's now plays with the Lakers and this is gold. I do find it a little like, it's like, if that works for you, I have no issues with that working for you. I never would have thought of that because he's pictured with the Mavs, but hey, if that's gonna make, if that's something that people like, that's cool. I got no issues with that at all. What about the chronology, Adam? The silver auto on this, how do you like that?
That's awesome. It's a super long autograph. I think it shows up super well. I, in general, really like metallic autographs. And everybody, I mean, show me somebody who doesn't like a chronology autograph. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful on the canvas surface. Ryan, you're unmuted. You got something to jump in with?
Yeah, I mean, to me, this card is one of the steals of the auction currently. I mean, all-time great production. I get it, it's post-playing days, but you have MJ in this beautiful canvas production against Larry Legend. You know, the hick from French Lick, as Adam said. You know, that's long silver ink on-card autograph. I don't know. I love this card.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I do love the autograph. It is on a lot of light background, but it's still a great looking card overall, in my opinion. Okay, let's keep on rolling, guys. Oh, it's a row of baseball. We've got Mookie Betts purple. We've got Mookie Betts orange, and we've got another Juan Soto. This is the orange refractor out of 25. We saw the red out of 5 on the first page. Guys, a couple of Mookie Betts here out of 10 and out of 25. Out of 10 on the purple, out of 25. I don't even need to look at these autos. I know all 3 of them are going to be perfect. They are graded 10 by Beckett, but I just know that Top/Bowman makes a surface for cards that the autograph holds so nicely. Adam, you've heard me say this a million times. For fun, we're going to prove me right on this. Just going to do it just to make sure that we don't. Yeah, absolutely banging of an auto right there. Just beautiful. I don't know about the purple. Maybe not my favorite color for an auto on this one. On the not for the auto, but for the background, I like the orange better. Again, a perfect autograph, just beautiful. And when I say perfect, I mean just like no fade, no lightning. And on the Soto, yeah, really nice as well. Just beautiful. So I love, and listen, I don't collect this type of baseball card, but if I did, I'd be all about these on-card autos right here. Deep says the 2014 purple is to 10. Yeah, I think I said that. Now they're to 250, he says. So that has changed quite a bit. Jesse Craig says this hockey game has me jacked up and I don't watch hockey. You do now, and you're also just missing out on the most exciting sport there is. So it's time to open it up, you know, get in it. All right.
I have a quick question. So you guys might know this, or maybe somebody in the chat does. And David Ratliff probably knows this. There was a baseball card. It was a Bowman Chrome Superfractor where the autograph went off card and then somebody wiped it and then got it graded. And this is from a few years ago. Was that Soto or was that somebody else? It was like super public. Does anybody remember?
Don't remember.
Okay. So I was thinking of that because, you know, we got the Soto red that we were talking about earlier in the authentic holder. That's probably not, I'm probably way off there, but
I think that happens quite frequently. I mean, you see it with some Brady issues, you know, Orange Trout, a few others, but yeah.
There was a that was super public.
Malika says it was Soto, but
I thought it was Malika. And so Malika, we were also talking about the red. That might be something worth looking at because if the autograph was slightly wiped, maybe but the autograph's graded at 10. So that can't be it. Never mind.
What's up? Boston Authentic says the city of Boston is rocking tonight in the Garden for Team USA. Jesse Craig confirms it was Juan Soto's card right there, signed and slabbed. I don't remember a Superfractor. Someone wiped an Ohtani and got him to put the Kanji auto back on. There was that too, Soto. For sure. Yeah, I'm Only Sleeping calls that out as well. So does Alex. Malako says the Super Soto was a big mess. Okay, guys, we're going to go on to the cards in the auction tonight. Back to another Juan Soto. This is the gold refractor out of 50. Beautiful card, 9.5 with a 10 auto. Auto looks great, $17,250. And I'd like to point out it's a true gem, which is pretty darn cool. We have the finest embossed gold refractor Kobe Bryant, numbered out of 74. Adam, huge card. We got to look and see if there's much greening going on. And it looks like pretty much all of Kobe is green on this. But Adam, would that stop you from acquiring this card? Like, it's kind of just the way it is. The card grades out a 9.5. What are your thoughts on this one, Adam?
I personally like, you'd rather have it with a nice color, but almost all of these are green. Like almost all of the 97 embossed are green. And so it doesn't bother me. I mean, I would still love to have it. It's from that first year where all of these brands serial numbered stuff. And it's one of those very first cards, but because a lot of them have turned green, it sells for way less than like the Rubies does or the Credentials do. And what's crazy about that, Jeremy, is that for a long time, like this was like viewed as like the most premium set. The embossed refractors were. It was super premium, but now it sells for a fraction of the price of most of those other ones. So I love it, especially at the price.
74 is a small print run. It's funny when you just look at the color of Kobe versus the color of Shaq over here.
It's not Shaq.
It's not. Who is that? Oh,
J.R.
is that
Ryder.
Dwayne? Who is that?
J.R. Ryder.
J.R. Ryder. Okay, sorry. Look at how just the different colors they are. Pretty interesting how it only impacts a part of the card. $9,000 for that one. And then Barry Sanders, 97 Skybox EX 2000 Essential Credentials, PSA 9, Pop 13, only one graded higher. This seems like a steal to me right now. I love this card as well. Ryan, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it mimics the 96, Credentials basketball set and limited to only 100 in this issue. There's very few that grade higher. I think only one grades higher. So to me, this is a premier Barry Sanders card. But going back to that Kobe real quick, I just want to touch, price. That seems like such a steal. I mean, obviously it's a second-year production and there is some hulking to it. But to his 96 Topps Chrome rookie PSA 10, you can, compared to that, this just seems like an absolute steal for me.
For a card out of 74.
Yeah.
All right. Here's the Barry Sanders up close. Oh gosh, what a beautiful card. And the blues just all tie in beautifully together. If you've ever held one of these in hand, this border with all the stars, how shiny they are, these things actually sparkle as if you're holding a handful of diamonds. I can't recommend this card enough. I love it. Just love it. All right, Michael Jordan, signature flight from 2008 Upper Deck Radiance. This is a BGS 8.5 with a 10 on the auto. Auto doesn't look so good to me unless, oh no, it's gold. That's what it is. It's not, awesome. Oh yeah, auto is perfect. Auto is perfect. I thought it was a faded blue, guys. I apologize. That is a wonderful autograph right there. It's an 8.5. The corners are the weak spot at an 8. I'm okay with that myself. That autograph is absolutely stunning. Adam, that might be one of the nicest Jordan autos I've ever seen. I say that to you too, Ryan. Adam, what do you think?
No, I thought the same thing. When I saw it, it really stood out to me. We haven't seen the card companies utilize gold on white very often, and so this is an example that is just, and it's the rest of the card is just so beautifully designed. Jordan, plenty of room for the autograph. It's perfect.
Jesse Craig says it's the rare gold variation. So there, I think, is he saying there are other colored autos of this card? Do you know, Ryan, is that the case on this? Or is
I actually don't know if there's a difference in signatures there.
Very nice. All right, an exquisite RPA, Connor McDavid, BGS 9.3 color, numbered out of 97. This is such a underappreciated card when you compare it to his Cup RPA, which has a smaller patch. On card auto, beautiful, and a great patch with a ton of orange. $10,500 on that right now. And then this Michael Jordan EX 2001 PSA 10. This is a base card. Is it not just a base card? But what an amazing base card this is. Adam, your thoughts on this? And like $5,200, justify the value of this for a base card if you can.
Yeah, I think it's got a ways to go too. It's one of the base cards that's like the hardest to find in a 10. And, sort of think of it like the 96 EX Kobe. The 96 EX Kobe is a rookie card, and so it's sort of known really well, even when it's not a high grade. But this one, if I remember, I don't know if it's like 11 or 12 in the population. It's a very small number. And when you look at the percentage, it's just almost none. So that's why it's going to get such a high bid.
All right, Ryan, jump in if you'd like. All right, we have a 2017 Bowman Chrome Gold Refractor, Ronald Acuna Jr., numbered out of 50. Like that autograph again. I'm never worried about them on Bowman. Like they just do such a good job of getting these autos. Look at that. The auto is laid down perfectly. It seems to come off the card a bit down over there. It doesn't really bother me. The card grades out a 10. Great looking piece. Chipper Jones Desert Shield PSA 10. Big card right there. And a Topps Chrome Refractor LeBron James BGS 95 2003 rookie card. Great card right there. The refractors are so nice this year. They are so bright and beautiful. And this card, I want to just have a closer look at the centering for my own interest and the subgrades. This seems to be a true gem with all 495s. And that centering, yeah, I can see how it maybe isn't like a 10 because of top to bottom, but side to side looks pretty like what, 49-51 maybe at worst to me. Love it right there. Adam, talk about this row, and then Ryan, you jump in with anything you'd like to say about any of these three cards. Over to you, Adam.
Quick update at the top of the auction. We saw the dual get another bunch of bids. It's now up to 270. And then the Logo Man has actually passed the regular rookie for the Steph. So just by 10 grand, but those are two things that we're watching tonight.
And didn't the LeBron James Essential Credentials go from like 60 grand to 80 since we last looked at it?
Good call. Yeah.
Yeah. The mantle hasn't moved. The Kobe, I think, was 85. It was tied with the McDavid when we first looked, I believe. I'm not going to remember what these all were a couple hours ago, but 17,000 now on what is one of my favorites in the auction, the Gretzky Essential Credentials, now out of only 9. So cool right there. Yeah, good. Oh, Shaq's up to 30 on the Champ PMG. All right, let's go back to where we left off, though. We want to make sure we give all the cards some attention. So we're going to go back now to this page right here. Ryan, did you have anything you want to mention about any of these three cards?
Yeah, all three are great cards. I mean, obviously, we touched on the LeBron being a true gem. The Desert Shield, Chipper Jones. I mean, obviously, one of the best switch hitters of all time. And then that being the Desert Shield. Extremely elusive in PSA 10. And then you can't go wrong with an Acuna PSA 10, first Bowman production.
No, agreed. All right. Records collection. Michael Jordan, PSA 10, 15,750. This card has come a long way in the last 5 years right there. Kobe Bryant, Skybox Molten Metal Fusion, numbered out of 250. These are beautiful, very similar to the Platinum Portraits from the year before. And then a Contenders Optic, Patrick Mahomes. Adam, I feel like this is the second one we've seen after we said earlier we don't see this card very often. We have two in the same auction. I said at the top of this row that the records collection has come a long way. Adam, what can you tell us about that? Because I mean, I feel like this card, in pre-pandemic in a PSA 10 would have been, somewhere between like maybe $800 and $1,500. Now it's easily 10 times that. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I've never really followed it, but I remember a few years ago when we saw it start to really pop in gem condition. I was like, oh, I didn't realize that one was so big because, well, one, it's an upper deck insert. There's not a lot of upper deck inserts that we know of. I mean, really think about that off the top of your head. You don't think of a lot of upper deck Jordan inserts. You think of his autographs and patches and things like that. But it's worth a lot because of the grade. And when something's worth a lot because of the grade, generally you look at that pop report and you see a really low number under the 10. And I think that's what's happening with this card.
How about the Kobe Molten Metal Fusion, Adam?
Yeah, great card. And I always you always point out that I say on the 1 out of 40, it's serial numbered straight out of the cardboard. This one's not the gold out of 40; it's out of 250. But the best thing in the world is when you grab one of these in hand and you look at that light shining through that creates that perfect silhouette. It's just a really well-made card, and that's true for the gold and the silver.
Deep Value wants to know, Ryan, what card are you most excited about in this auction? Do you get to see them all, or you get to see them all in hand? What are you most excited about in the whole auction? Is it, Ryan, is it this one right over here?
100%. It's that and the Curry Logo Man. So we sold the Curry Logo Man BGS 9.5 like in 2016 or something, a long time ago. And I think it sold for like $6,000, right? Something ridiculous. And so for me, that card was an interesting card as, Card Ladder, I think had it projected at like 75K or something like that. And so to see it at 140K with BP is, I still think that's one of the most undervalued cards in this entire Premier auction. But for me, also the exquisite MJ LeBron, I don't think I've ever seen a 2007 exquisite duel in that condition, obviously, and then you add the serial number 23 of 23. To me, that card is an absolute grail. That will never surface again. So I don't know. And then the 3 color patches on both of those.
Amazing.
Amazing. Yeah.
Amazing for sure. Timepiece. I do not share that concern about hockey card values based on tariffs and taxes, because most hockey cards are produced in the United States. So I don't know why the US would tariff their own items coming back into the States or selling within. So no, I do not share that concern at all. Okay, 1998 Upper Deck Choice Prime Choice Reserve Kobe Bryant out of 100 PSA 10 Pop 1. These are sneaky cards. They're number one. It's sometimes hard to notice if you have a Prime Reserve if you don't notice the serial number, because this weird kind of I don't know, what do you call this effect, Adam, that you can't even really see it here, but there is that, I think there's that effect on these as well, right?
Yeah, it's I don't know what it says. I think it says Prime Choice Reserve or something, but to add confusion to it, Jeremy, there's another more basic parallel that also has this finish, but it's, they were like one in a few packs. So I think a lot of these got missed. And if you look at the pop reports, number one, remember this was the lowest end product that year, right?
Canada won the game. McDavid scored in overtime. Whoa. I want to thank all the players from Team USA for putting up a great game. And
so this card's really great.
And I wish both teams could have won. Tonight. But as a Canadian, I'm very happy to hear that Team Canada's won the hockey game. Wow. Okay. Good thing I'm recording that. Sorry, guys. That's big news. All right. Whew, thank God. Okay. Back to the card, Adam. Sorry.
So the other version is not hard. They came out of a super low end product, right? The lowest end product that they made that year was is this UD Choice or Collector's Choice? I can't remember which one it is.
UD
Choice. It literally was like $1 a pack, and so I think a lot of these were opened by kids, and then not only were they opened by kids, but then they were hard to identify. You had to turn it around and see it, or recognize not just that it had that foil stuff on the front, but the pattern and what it says. So, I think if you look at the pop report, you're going to see that it's really, really low numbered. And I don't know if it's 1 or 2 or 3, but it's probably somewhere in that range.
I'm sure it's very low number. Well, let's just give a quick check. 636-35210. This population on this. Oh, Sign and Slab says, don't worry, the Stanley Cup still lives here. Well, except when, 80% of the players on the team live in Canada and bring it back there. So it doesn't really live in the States. It actually spends probably more time in Canada at the Hall of Fame and at the players' houses.
I've never seen Jeremy this happy. He's so happy.
But I hear you, David. It's okay. The U.S. teams filled with Canadian players do have won the cups for 30 straight years. So there is that. This is a pop 1, you guys. This Kobe Bryant is a pop 1. And thank you. I'm only sleeping for also mentioning that as well. All right.
Hey, Jeremy. Sorry, real quick. So, Adam, have you noticed with these cards, like when you have them in hand, they almost have like a cracked ice finish to the front of them. The beautiful production. You don't pick it up in the scan, but it's a really pretty card.
That's a good way to describe it, Ryan. It really is. It's like, and I think it says Prime Choice Reserve or something, but you will only pick that up if you have it in hand and tilt it side to side. And calling it cracked ice, it's the perfect way to say it.
All right, good stuff, guys. In the middle is a Patrick Mahomes rookie year flawless auto out of 20 BGS 95, beautiful card, and then a Panini Prism Gold Mike Trout numbered out of 10. This is at $13,000. It's a pop one, big card here. I have to think now, despite the chance that it's like not licensed and all that, these are still beautiful, and I have to say they did a great job of choosing the photo that did not require any photoshopping, right? It's just a perfect picture for the card. I love it. I love 2012 Panini Prism Golds across all sports. Adam, I know you do too. What do you think of this?
Yeah, you make a good point. The fact that it doesn't look, that you don't see that it's unlicensed. And then the other thing is that you said that I like that you pointed out is it's got, all 4 sports. What's the story with hockey in 2012 Prism, Jeremy? I know they have some, but did they not have a full product? Is that what happened?
Yeah, I believe it was inserted into another product as a box topper pack or something like that. I don't remember exactly. There was a full product in 2013, but we do have, or maybe it came out in the anthology. Hold on, I have one right over here, and it is from, the product was called Panini Rookie Anthology. They came out on 20. Anyway, beautiful cards. Just love them. And this Mike Trout, Pop 1, PSA 10. I don't know what's holding it back here at 13,000. Maybe it's Mike Trout himself, but it's a big card. It's a big Trout card, in my opinion.
The reason that I brought it up just real quick is that you've got the golds from every sport, and it's pretty rare when you have an insert or a set that really like goes across all 4 major sports. So I think that is pretty cool.
Ryan, what about you? Any thoughts on the Trout?
Yeah, I love the Trout. I mean, all-time great Trout production, gold parallel limited to 10. Obviously, it mimics that 2012 Prism, inaugural Prism basketball set. I mean, I love that card. We just need Trout to stay healthy for a few years. But I do want to call attention real quick. The MJ LeBron is quickly approaching $400,000 with BP.
320 now on the MJ LeBron. We have a bidding war on our hands on this card, folks. Unbelievable card. All right, let's run through the rest of this stuff. We have a 1980 Topps rookie card of Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. It's a PSA 9. It's got Fanatics Collect Eye Appeal top 30% above average, $12,500 on this one. We've got a Panini Flawless Josh Allen rookie patch auto at 25. Beautiful card here, in my opinion. And we have the Anthony Volpe Bowman Chrome Superfractor rookie auto, 1 of 1. This is really nice, guys. 6,500. Ryan, any idea why this is so cheap? It feels low to me for this card.
Well, yeah, it's not a first Bowman production. I mean, his signature is so great. Great signature. He really performed well in the postseason too. I mean, he kind of carried the Yankees a bit there. I don't know. It seems like a pretty great buy at that value to me.
When you say it's not his first card, it's got like I forget what we call them, but like it's like the first Bowman card came out in 22 or 21, and then this is the rookie. But which one is generally preferred? It's the first Bowman card, right?
Yeah, it's the first Bowman one. It's his prospect card.
Unbelievable. I think it's a great card. Great looking card right there.
Yeah.
All right. We have another Juan Soto. This is the purple refractor out of 250 at $6,000. Couple more NTRPAs. This time we got Jalen Hurts, your Super Bowl champion, along with a Zion Williamson, not a champion right now. Beautiful patch on both cards. Actually, another cool pair of NTRPAs right here. What's so funny, Ryan?
Just I don't know. Adam and I got a chuckle out of that.
We both liked your segue of he's a champion and he's not. It was great. It was great, Jeremy. I loved it.
Not a champion.
You're freezing a little bit on us, Jeremy.
You got
Ryan, it might be just you and me now.
Oh no, he's frozen.
Take Adam. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead, Adam.
Okay, I got it, Jeremy. So we get to talk about 3 awesome cards that are here on the screen right now. is I look at those three. One of my favorite things to do whenever Jeremy freezes is to ask the question, which do I like the best? And I bet I know which of those three you like the best. Well, don't look at the prices, Ryan, but which of those three cards do you like the best?
Oh, well, that's a pretty easy choice for me. It's the Brady. You have Flawless, which is obviously a premium product. You have a large patch window, which boasts a 4-color Patriots patch on card autograph, PSA 10 out of 15. I mean, the list goes on and on and on about the qualities of this card. So to me, it's the Brady, 7-time champ. Hard to argue against that one. How about you?
I love that card so much. Every time I see it pop up, I go, that one. And we talked about the Immaculate earlier, which I think is made the subsequent year. Those are the two Brady autograph patches that I just look at every time and go, man, if I was a big Brady collector, I would want to have that in my collection.
Yeah.
This
and
is such a sweet
Sorry,
card.
go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm back now. Ryan, go ahead.
Yeah. I was going to, highlight the ruby, the red holofoil. I love, it really pops.
It works.
It works with the red and the Patriots uniform as well. Just a gorgeous card. Maybe my favorite Brady patch auto ever made is this and all of its parallels. So beautiful. 57,500 on that one right now. Next row, another Mahomes Contenders autograph rookie. We've got we talked about the cut above earlier, Adam. I also love linchpins, and this is the Jordan BGS 9.5. Really tough card, very condition sensitive. 11 grand on this, and in the middle, the let's call it the godfather of basketball rookie cards is the George Mikan 48 Bowman, and this is a very strong BVG 7.5. Really like this. This is a card that's on my want list. I did look at this card, and it's beautiful, Adam. And Ryan. I mean, you look at these cards, Ryan, quite a bit as well. What are your thoughts on this, Mike and Ryan? We'll start with you, then we'll go to Adam.
Yeah, look, this one was flashed into this auction, so I didn't really get a chance to view it too greatly. But I do love this issue. It's obviously one of the most important vintage basketball cards in existence. You don't ever really see it with such perfectly cut edges. A lot of these are factory miscut or hand cut, and so this one being a natural cut issue with that bright blue backdrop and a really great print. Near mint plus condition, very difficult to improve upon.
Very much so. Yeah. What a great looking card. And the registration it's not like perfect, but it's so strong for the issue. Yeah. So strong. Oftentimes you see gaps. What a great looking card. And I love that he's wearing glasses. Come on. What other player wears glasses on their rookie card? I don't even think Kareem had them on, or Lou at the time.
Sorry, real quick. And for $13K, this is a steal. If this was a PSA 7 holder or even a PSA 7.5 holder, it would be approaching 6 figures.
Yeah, well, I'm Only Sleeping says PSA 7 on the mic and goes for $30K. That feels low to me even, and I haven't checked it, but I would have expected them to go for more. So a great card. Maybe we'll see some more bids on that one before the night is out, before the auction is over, guys. All right, let's just clean up all these tabs we have open. That's it. We've got through all the cards, Adam. That's a big deal for us. Adam, was there anything you wanted to say on, why don't you give us your thoughts on the linchpins and the Mikan for that matter?
Well, the linchpins is a great insert from, one of the best brands of the 90s, the Metal Universe brand. It also has this really kind of unique die cut within the card. Some of them have, we've seen some of them they don't have the linchpin die cut in the card. And so you always want to look for that. And some of them have gotten through graded too. But this one looks exactly like you want it to. And a 9.5 on that is just huge. The Mikan, the thing that it stood out to me as like this unbelievable example of this card. And I think it is. I think Beckett 7.5, it's a great example. You do notice that discoloration down along the border there. Do we have any guesses on what causes that? I know, Ryan, you know this stuff better than anybody. Any guesses what does that?
It's tough to say exactly. It could have been how it was stored. It could have been exposed to some light.
Yeah.
maybe some sort of gum was staining at the bottom. You just don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's just the elements, right? I think it's just being exposed to oxygen, oxygen, all the particles in the air over time, maybe a little bit of, maybe some humidity at some point where it's lived over its years. It's because we see it on all the, I'm actually really surprised, Adam, that you mentioned that. Is it because what indicated that to you, Adam? Is it just because the other three borders are lighter than the bottom one? Is that, and that might just be that like the bottom was in the sunlight more or stuck out of a book or something like that. Like there's so many different reasons for it, I believe. I didn't even notice it, to be honest. I'm really impressed that you did.
Well, so the reason that I think I noticed it is that sometimes you'll see discoloration along the top, because like, you know how like top loaders and things used to be where things would sort of stick out at the top. I don't think you don't see very often where it's like along the bottom like that. And I wondered, my first thought was, is there any chance it's like water damage? Because you see water damage along the bottom. I don't think it is either, Ryan. It doesn't look like it at all, but you know what I mean? When you see damage along the bottom of cards, sometimes you go, oh, because cards are generally stored facing up and then water damage comes from the bottom. I don't think it's that. But what would cause that? Like it's an unusual thing. It just sort of stood out to me. But look, I paid $5,000 for an altered copy of this card. And I love it. It's one of my favorite cards in my collection. And I always wanted to own the Mikan. It was always the most expensive card in the Beckett growing up. It's by far the rarest of all the big vintage basketball cards. And the fact that this one's as nice as it is, I love it. And I love that it's only $13,000. I love the price on it.
Did the auction end? We are updating here. Let's see what happens. No, we are still in. We still have action going on here.
Look at the duel. The duel's just going crazy still, guys.
Yeah, so we're now sorted here by highest price, and the LeBron MJ duel is at 400. That's 480 as Nate Flesher saves us some brain power and does the math for us. 480K, guys. That's about 2 million Canadian now on that card right there. It's an exaggeration for those who don't know what the actual exchange rate, but that's about 560,000 pre-BP in Canadian dollars for all the Canadian bidders out there. Okay, so we've gone through all the cards now. We have a couple options. What we could do, guys, we can look through and kind of run through the most valuable cards, which I think we should probably do. I'm going to just isolate to sports cards here if I can remember where to do that. There is a place to do sports cards. There it is. And we will see okay, so there's the Steph RPA, the Kobe Logo Man, the Connor McDavid RPA is there. LeBron is still at 80, 72.5 on MJ emblems. Mantle hasn't got any further bids, still at $60,000. I want to see the Gretzky essential credentials again. The Tim Duncan's at 44,000. Emmett Smith, PSA 5 green PMG. PMG is at 40,000. 38 on the other McDavid, 36 on the Jordan sticker rookie, 38 on the LeBron exquisite RPA right there. The Ovechkin Cup RPA at $31,000, guys. This card shoots above its weight in my opinion. The patch is beautiful. And I don't know about that 5 grade. Tough to say why it gets that, but I want to see that. Where did that? Okay, Griffey's at 15.5. Wilt at 25.5. Where is that Gretzky card? I got to see the Gretzky, guys.
Wasn't it at like 18 last time we saw it, Jeremy?
Yeah.
Was it at 18? I'm not. Yeah. So I'm okay. Well, so we're going to go back here and we're just going to now, I'm going to close up all these that are by lot number. Now that we've gone through all the cards, we can just go by value. And we see it's not there. Let's go to the next page. We scroll through. You guys keep your eyes on everything that we're scrolling through. There it is, $17,000 right now, which is just over 20,000 with the BP, the buyer's premium. I love that. I remember this card. This card I think sold for over $40,000, and I think it might be this exact same one. Thank you, Molico. Signed in Slab says Gretzky seems cheap as much as you guys like those Pepto throw-up cards. He's not a fan of them. But yeah, I love them. Absolutely love them. I'm Only Sleeping says the Mantle is low compared to recent comps. And that's weird because I think it's a great copy. I mean, before you came on, Ryan, Adam and I were like fawning over this card. I want to hear your thoughts on this. And Adam even said, he's kind of surprised that it maybe could have been a candidate for eye appeal. We both really like this card. What are your thoughts on it from a objective opinion?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great 4. Look, I mean, the color pops, the registration's elite, great print. It boils down to centering for me on this issue. Yep. And it being a VGX copy, it's not, I wouldn't say it's a low grade copy by any means. So the fact that it's, 80-20 left to right, very typical for a 4. I wouldn't say that there has some amazing attributes, but in terms of eye appeal, I really heavily focus on centering for this issue.
I was going to ask, and I asked this question of Jeremy, if you had, well, not exactly like this, but if you had to break down the eye appeal into like assign like a value to it, what percentage is the centering? It seems like that's by far the most important part of the eye appeal sort of designation. Is that right?
I'm sorry, was that addressed to me, Adam?
Yeah, it was addressed to you.
I mean, yeah, for this particular issue, centering is the number one issue in terms of eye appeal.
And are the other things like, could you have a copy that had this centering that got an eye appeal designation as a 4? Would that be possible, or is it just like, no, there's no way?
No, I mean, yeah. If it had maybe near mint corners and 0 wrinkles and 0 excess print, sure, it might be a top 30% for eye appeal, maybe even top 15. But again, centering is a huge factor, and you do see a little bit of rounding corners on a VGX example here, but yeah, it is a nice 4.
That's great. That's good. Good perspective. I love the copy because I'm not as sensitive to centering as a lot of people, but I think you're spot on that, especially in the community today. I think centering is by far the thing that people, and Brent said this too, it's easily the biggest thing I think that people are looking at today.
Brent makes a couple good points here. First of all, he says people are programmed now to only see centering, and that's, a novice approach because there's so much more to the card. And that's not an insult when I say that. It's kind of a novice way. There are other, it is important. And I admit it's the most important. Personally, I want a card that has good focus and registration over everything, but centering is very important. But then Brent says, was centering the number 1 5 years ago, which is an interesting time span to go back, because I would say, yes, it probably was 5 years ago. But if you go back to the, pre-internet, you go back to pre-1990s, and it was corners. All people cared about back then was corners. You could basically, the world we're living in now with centering being so important, up until the end of the 80s, corners were that thing that were the most important thing by far. Centering was almost not even an issue, at least in the LCS that I owned in the early 90s, growing up in the 80s, going to the LCS. Centering wasn't something that people cared about. The card was there. It was corners, edges, and edges as well, but it was corners. So you have to think, and it ties into what Brent said to what Brent said, or says, who said it? Somebody here said that it has to do with in 2 dimensions, because you can only look at it on the computer or on a screen. Yeah, he says when looking at cards online, centering is really the only thing you can become an expert on. That's right. And that ties into when it all happened. You're shaking your head. What do you think?
I do disagree with that. I mean, with the high resolution images that we offer, you can pretty much see every aspect of the card. And I would argue against that. Centering to me really started to be the main focal point. I don't know, quite a long time ago when eye appeal was introduced at PWCC. At least in my opinion, especially with pre-war and these major issues like 58 tops Jim Brown rookie cards, you had 52 tops Manals, a slew of issues, Bill Russell rookie cards. I'm sorry, my kids were melting down here in the back, but I think centering was a major focal point even 5 to 6 years ago.
Oh, yeah. I think centering. So I remember when I first realized how important centering was in the hobby was probably back in like the late 00s when I was going to the National. Like I'm talking 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, in that range there. And I met two vendors at the National. One, many of you have heard of, goes by the name of Brady Hill. And the other one is Jeff. I can't remember his last name, but he's Card Country at the National. And those guys back then taught me about eye appeal. They taught me about strong for the grade. So centering, I think, has been really, maybe, Ryan, it goes back to the time of, you know, the advent of eBay on the internet and being, you know, the early marketplace and people looking at cards in 2 dimensions. Now with really great imagery that we get on Fanatics Collect, you can see more. You can see things. But I don't want to call out too here. I think it was Foul Ball said centering is overrated. Registration is most important to me. I think what Foul Ball means is, you know, I think he's saying for him it's overrated, right? Because everyone's going to have a different approach. And I completely understand that, but I'm with Foul Ball. To me, registration overtakes centering. I think it's the most important. But how do you feel, Ryan, about registration, and does it come into play when you're doing eye appeal assessments?
Look, eye appeal is subjective. A card can appeal to any collector in a slew of different ways. I think it totally depends on the issue. If you have an issue like I mentioned, the 58 Topps Jim Brown rookie card, which has a ton of excess print and focus issues. If you have great registration and great print and the card's off-centered, it might still possess great eye appeal for that particular grade. It just depends on the issue for me. That's just my opinion.
I think that's fair. I mean, it is going to be different through different things. Sundin here says it's weird because centering is a manufacturing issue and corners is a wear and tear over time issue. True, but I think both do impact the condition. Moloko says, when I was a kid, corners were everything. Literally all people cared about. That's what I remember as well. Guessing we're around the same age, Moloko. Deep says you can see registration with great images, but unless you were looking at 10 at the same time to compare, it's too hard to recognize. I feel like I can recognize it, Deep. If you look close enough, you can see it, but you may not have comparison, I suppose. But doesn't really matter to me. You get to know these things. You get to know what's typical. Molko says vintage does seem to have more harsh centering issues overall too. Skeppy says corners and creases were important. And back in the day, corners, yeah, we talked about creases and corners. That was all the rage back in the 80s when I was, a young collector. Nikola Tesla says registration is funny because there are collectors that collect double exposures. Have at her. Collect all the ugly cards you want, people. Collect them all. That just takes your good money away from bidding against me on the better cards. Yes, I said it. Sundin says, like I said on the Saturday stream, just grade subgrades and leave the final grade to the collector. That was an interesting comment, Ryan, that we heard on the Saturday episode of Sports Cards Live from this collector. He says a grading service that could be useful is don't give us a final grade. Just give us the subgrades. Give us 4 grades per card, maybe even more, maybe 5. Maybe add measurement, maybe add registration as separate from surface. What do you think about that idea? It got shot down by many in the chat to leave off a final grade, just to give you that context.
I'm sorry. So create subgrades, but don't
a Beckett slab, no final grade, just subgrades. Just give somebody subgrades. Leave the final grade to the collector to decide.
Sure, I guess.
It's weird,
I
right?
It's like saying we have this thing already. Let's get less. You never ask for less. You always ask for more.
Yeah.
I don't know why you did.
I don't love it, but
it'll never happen in that way. And that's why we have eye appeal assessors out there. Seriously, that's why we have that. I think because I've heard a lot of people say, grading the grader, it's silly. It makes no sense. Personally, I think it makes a ton of sense simply because the standard grading scale is too restrictive. It's simply too restrictive. There are an infinite amount of conditions a card can be in, not 19 or whatever it is with the subgrades. It's thousands and thousands and thousands. So I like eye appeal assessment stickers to the extent that I agree with them. I like them, and I don't always agree with them, but that's okay too. All right. Let's see where we're at, guys. On the clock, 7 seconds. Well, I'm going to guess we'll see a bid, but if we don't, this auction's over. If we don't have a bid in the next 2 seconds here, the auction will be over. Did someone snipe a final bid?
Done.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Looks like it.
I don't think so.
No, it's not done. It's not done.
No. The clock is still ticking, you guys.
Man, I'm rooting on this duel here. It just keeps ticking up, almost at 500 grand now.
410 now.
It's at 492 with BP.
Yeah, just a hair shy of $500,000 USD.
I had a guy today at basketball before I left. He asked me, he's like, "What's the biggest item you guys are selling today?" And I said, "Well, we don't sell the cards, but Fanatics Collect is selling this duel." He said, "What's it at, and what do you think it'll sell for?" I said, "It's at 240, and I think if I had to guess, it'll end around 5." I said that. I could have him. So now we're right around 5. We're right where I sort of thought we'd end up. But would I be shocked to see it go higher? I personally wouldn't be shocked to see it go higher because, again, it's the best. It's the best duel of these two out of a dual logo mint auto, except outside of that, probably in existence.
I just wanted. Okay, hold on. I had a couple things going through my mind right now that I wanted to mention. Okay, we're going to do comments quick here. Vintage says, he's saying to me, Jeremy, generally speaking, it seems to me there is far more centering problems with Vintage than registration issues. What are your thoughts? I think that's right, Vintage. I mean, I agree with that, but I think that you will find some issues that have worse registration than centering issues. And I'm not, maybe like 48 or whatever we're calling it now, 48, 49 Leaf seems to have center registration issues, and it might be on certain cards more than the whole issue itself. Ryan, you're nodding. Am I on the right track there?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I think generally speaking, you see centering issues greater than registration, but on certain issues like 48 Leaf baseball, especially on high numbers and short prints, yeah.
Sundin here says, my idea is so crazy it might just work, to which Vintage says it was a terrible idea on Saturday and still a terrible idea today. Sorry, Sundin, you're getting shot down with that idea. I like it in concept, but I don't think that's the final product myself either. Nikola Tesla, all I care about is eye appeal, and there are some gorgeous VG well-centered cards out there I would take any day over a 75-25 centered but sharp card. Me too, Nikola Tesla. I love that approach. Daniel A says, Canada still kings of hockey. That is definitely the truth. Linda's first perfect registration should be called a Jeremy registration. I'm all about it. You know it for sure. Foul Ball says, I collect those beautiful severe miscut cards. If you like those miscut, I don't. To me, miscut cards are nothing. I just have zero interest in them and wouldn't want them for my collection. But I do have off-center cards in my collection, and I love them all the same, especially my Jackie rookie, which I've just had for so many years. I love it as it is. Perfect registration. It's in a 6 holder, but it's probably got like 85-15 centering, and I love it. I love it. All right, Ryan, is there any card you'd like to take a look at, or do you guys want to play a little bit of this or that? And I also want to say I'm showing 210 people with us right now. More on Twitter than on YouTube at the moment is what I'm showing. So welcome everybody over on, I should say, X. Welcome to the show. 211 people right now. It's a pretty healthy number, guys. Skeppy says I'd be fine with authentic or authentic altered slabs, and I'll decide the rest. There you go. Linda's first says we want some this or that. Well, this auction could go for a while. We don't know. Adam, what are your thoughts?
I want to do the this or that. I love them. They're my favorite part of the show.
All right, and Ryan is in on it too. So let's do that, guys. We've got 7 this or that's teed up and ready to go. And let's start with the first one. Go ahead.
Sorry, Jeremy. Can I pose a this or that?
Sure, you can pose one. Yeah.
Adam, 03 Exquisite Limited Logos Kobe versus the Steph Logo Man.
For me, it's the Steph Logo Man.
Okay.
What about for you? What about for you?
Absolutely the same. I mean, even though it's sticker auto, but Steph Logo Man. I mean, to me, this card still has an insane amount of room for me. I mean, and Curry rookie logo man, I don't know. That one.
We talked about this one for quite a bit before you joined, and
Yeah.
the thing that I said, just to refresh everybody who wasn't here, but for a lot of people, the logo man auto is like the highest and best form of a basketball card for a given player. Steph Curry's 4th most popular player all time in our hobby. I really think pretty clearly he's number 4. He has the big one, the one of one, that's multi-million-dollar card, the biggest card in the Panini era, like unquestionably the biggest card in the Panini era. And then he's got these other 5, and then there's another set that has 5. So he has 10 total from National Treasures outside of the one of one. That's just a lot rarer than the NTRPA, and it's no knock on the NTRPA, but I would take the logo man auto.
Did it end? Let's see. No, it seems to still be going unless it's going to reset here on us. Linda's first says Kobe, though, no more autographs ever. Deep says no sticker for me. I'm on the Kobe side of things, guys. Mickey Mantle here tells us that Elon Musk is watching. Hello, Elon. So interesting stuff there, guys. I want to point out that if you look at the top valued cards right now, it goes basketball, 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 hockey, basketball, basketball, baseball. I just wanted to point that out, guys. I think that's pretty cool. All right, we're going to play some other this or that's now, Ryan. We're going to start with, and this is where we block the screen right there. This is the Fanatics Collect This or That on Sports Cards Live, guys. And this is the first one we're going to do. It's Tom Brady versus Tom Brady. Yeah, look at you guys are stressing about this. By the way, it's
a good one.
We also might have the auction over here again. I think the auction just ended, guys. The auction has ended. The auction has ended. It is over.
I still want to do this or that.
We will, but we can take a moment and breathe. The auction has ended now, guys. And I guess Elon has left. Thank you for that. Okay. So let's just run through these really quick and see what we have. 492 on the Jordan, LeBron, Adam. You said 500. You were extremely close on that. Congratulations. 168 on the next 2 there. 156 on the Steph rookie, which not far off the logo man there, right? $12,000 difference. Not too bad. 100,002 for the McDavid, 126 on the Kobe, 96,000 on the LeBron James Essential Credentials. Now, Ryan, I own this card in a BGS 9. I think this sale should make me pretty happy, don't you? I mean, it is a PSA 10, which is going to be a premium, but that should make me pretty happy. What do you think? Like, is that a big price for this card, or where you expected?
Yeah, I think that's a decent price for this card. I think the last PSA 10 to sell brought like 150. But that was one that, I mean, it hadn't sold in a long time. I think it was a more recent grade. But yeah, I mean, if you want a BGS 9 of this that is serial numbered, then yeah.
Pretty cool. The Mantle, no further bids tonight. $72,000, 69 on the Brady Flawless, 60 on the Mahomes NTRPA, 55 on Luka, 60,000 on the Steph Topps Chrome Refractor. Duncan does 52.8. Emmitt Smith does 48,000. LeBron does 51.6. Another McDavid RPA 45.6. 43 on the Jordan Fleer sticker rookie. LeBron Exquisite RPA 45.6. Lamar Jackson 42,000. The LeBron with inscription 38.4. And I think that's a great price, 39.6 on this Ovechkin. The PSA 5, I think, held this back. I feel like that was an undergraded card, just based on my experience with that card itself. Okay, let's do some more of the this or that's, guys. All right, we're going to start with back to this one right here. Ryan, let's start with you. We'll go through these relatively quickly, guys. So, Ryan, we have 7 of these. If you need to go, just let us know and just dip out, no problem. But which one for you here, Ryan? The Immaculate or the top Super Bowl MVP?
Yeah, unfortunately, I need to head out and put the kids to bed after this one. But again, I appreciate you having me on the show. But for me, on this one, it's a really tough choice. Both are premium top tier Tom Brady patch autograph issues. For me, I'm actually going with the 2002 Super Bowl on card autograph, limited to 150. I mean, I've owned this card in the past. I actually had a PSA 8 with a faded auto. But I just love the game used Super Bowl authentic relic in there. I mean, for, really a piece of the pigskin from a Super Bowl football ball, Super Bowl football. So to me, I'm going that with the O2.
I don't think you can go wrong either way here, but I know what I'm doing. How about you, Adam?
I think this is a great this or that, and I almost have to just flip a coin. I'm going to go with rarity and aesthetics in this case over significance in an earlier card, which I don't usually do. I'm going to go with the Immaculate, but it's ever so close.
I'm going with Ryan. I'm taking the Super Bowl MVP card. To me, it's just an iconic card. Love the age of it. Love the game used relic. I like how I'm Only Sleeping says it's a deflated patch. That's pretty good right there. Smart humor right there. Lantern's taking Immaculate. So is Mickey Mantle. Deep is saying the Immaculate is the one that had the shield do 400K. Deep is taking the Immaculate for the set purposes, though. Yeah, fair. What Justin says, I'm going with the Super Bowl card. Me too, Justin Bowden. Hello to you, buddy. If I didn't say it earlier. Nikola Tesla says 2 very nice looking cards, but I really try to stay focused on high grade vintage because that's what I know best and it's much safer. Stadium Sports Cards is taking the Super Bowl card as well. Same here. And just for your guys' reference, price wise, Super Bowl sold for $30,300 and the Immaculate $27,900. So pretty close in value. Pretty close in value right there. All right. Well, Ryan, I'm going to let you see what the next one is, but you can't play because you got to go. The next one is right there. It's a Shaquille O'Neal Championship PMG or the Michael Jordan cut above. Before you go, Ryan, you can give us your vote.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. This is another great this or that. I mean, did you plan these prior?
I did these like 4 days ago. I got these ready. So I didn't know what they were going to sell for. Yeah.
These are really great choices. Okay, so the cut above is probably one of my favorite inserts from the 90s. I adore that production. True Gem Plus is an impossible grade for that. It is hard for me to go against that card, but the Shaq is such a great card. Limited, extremely rare, right? Tough to find in 8.5 condition. I think the Shaq edges it out by a hair for me.
Adam, we got to go to you.
The Shaq. I love the Jordan. Like I said, I think it's his single best insert when it was made in 1997, 98. Single best look. I mean, it's just an awesome card. But for Shaq, that's one of his best cards in existence. And so, it's just so high on the Shaq list, the canon. Whereas Jordan, it's a ways down. So for me, it's the Shaq.
Yeah, and for me, I love both. I actually like I think I like the cut above aesthetically better, but I recognize the Champ PMG. I love the design as well on that. I love how he's kind of almost shooting, like dunking that ball off the card. It's such a cool design. It's out of 50. So I'm going to go with that with the Shaquille O'Neal as well, for sure, for me. Now, I want to show you guys what these things actually sold for, and then we'll go with the crowd. So the Shaq did 36,000, which I think is maybe a bit of a steal, and the MJ did half of that at 16,200. So just less than half. So Shaq is the clear winner here. I think we all said that, despite how important we think the Shaq is, or how nice the Jordan is. Ryan, I don't want to keep you here any longer. If you want to go, thank you for joining us. We'll see you again next time, hopefully. Okay.
Bye, Ryan. You're awesome.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. Have a good night.
Take care, buddy. Take care, man. Now to the chat. Oh, Passaic, what's going on? Good to see you. Deep Value says Shaq. I'm Only Sleeping says Michael Jordan. So does Linda's First. Mickey Mantle's taking Shaq. Mollico is taking Shaq. Justin Boat is taking Shaq. Deep is taking Set Significant, so he's taking the Shaq for sure, as is Lantern, as is LGC. Skeppy says Tops. I don't think we have a Tops card in that. So I don't know what you're talking about there, Skeppy. Sorry. Sundin is taking the Shaq. Nikola Tesla says, I'll take the MJ, but I'm biased because I'm from Chicago. Either way, I'd flip it. Okay, fair enough. Of course, we remember Shaq Diesel. Set significance over player. Never for me, Deep. I'm always taking the player over the set significance. But then again, when it's Shaq over MJ, I don't know that in that case, that's the tiebreaker, I guess. But it's not like, I guess what I'm thinking of is Shaq versus MJ isn't a good comparison to say set significance over player, although I understand it is for you in this case. But if this was like, I don't know, Jermaine O'Neal versus Michael Jordan, I'm definitely taking the Jordan. In that case, it's player first, not set first over there. Skeppy's taking the Jordan cut above. Collector Creator, what's up, Zach? Was that the Nuggets game in a blizzard and just tuning in? We are well. The professor is taking Shaquille O'Neal as well. All right, good stuff, guys. Let's go to the next one. Adam, you ready for the next one? Boom. Two of my favorite cards of the night. The Ken Griffey Jr. Essential Credentials or the Wayne Gretzky Essential Credentials. The Gretzky's the now, the Griffey is the future. And I'm going to bring these guys up as well. Adam.
Man, this is another great one, Jeremy. You did awesome on these this week, dude.
Well, thank you, sir. I'm really grateful when you say that. It means a lot coming from you because I don't want to disappoint you with these for sure. So the Gretzky is out of 9 and the Griffey is out of 91. That's something to keep in mind here. Gretzky out of 9, Griffey out of 91. The other thing to keep in mind is that the Griffey is from the original era of these cards. It's from 1998, where the Gretzky is from 2012. Griffey is playing days. Gretzky is not. All these things come into play, but the Gretzky is rare. They're both 9.5, so that's even. Adam, let's go to you.
Gosh, this is so tough. So I almost never buy cards that are not from a player's playing days, but they didn't have an original hockey essential credentials like this, right? Gretzky doesn't have one that comes earlier that's numbered to some really low number. Is this his first one? Is this his first credentials?
No, hockey had credentials in 2008 as well.
Okay. But
sorry. Hold on, Adam. They were not called credentials though, but they were. But they weren't. They're built the same way, but they were not called credentials. I don't even remember what they were called. I'm going to check. I have some, but keep chatting while I go look for that.
I would almost always go with the original. I would almost always do that. And I'm tempted to, but it's out of 9 and Gretzky is the guy. I know Griffey's the guy too. I'm going to go Gretzky. I know that surprises you. I'm going to go Gretzky.
I like that though. Actually, so here's what they looked like in 2008 hockey. And they are credentials. They are essential credentials. They just weren't called now and future. That's what I was missing. They were called red and green.
Was Gretzky in the set?
Gretzky was not in the set.
So it's his first credentials, and it's the rarer side of the pair. I have to go with the Gretzky. I have to.
Yeah, I'm going with the Gretzky as well. For me, it's kind of a no-brainer. For me, as far as what they sold for tonight, and then we'll go to the comments with you guys. What they sold for, the Griffey did 18.6 and the Gretzky did 20,400. So Gretzky wins out. If price is the true scoreboard, Gretzky does win out. But let's go to the chat and see what you got. So first of all, Deep says, come on, Jeremy, Jordan is way above Shaq as a player. That's not what I was saying, Deep. I was saying that they're a lot closer than Michael Jordan is to Jermaine O'Neal or Muggsy Bogues, right? That's what I was saying. Nikola Tesla says, in my opinion, basketball PMGs versus hockey PMGs as far as value is drastic. He must be, because hockey didn't have PMGs until 2012. Basketball had them in 97. So it is drastic for sure. And it should be drastic. I'm only sleeping. Last cut above 9.5, sold for 16.8. This is harder, says Deep. Lantern is taking Gretzky. LGC is taking Gretzky. It's out of 9, Brent. You might have heard that already, though. Collector Creative, Zach is taking the great one, Wayne Gretzky. So is Linda's first. So is Deep Value. Sundin is taking the Griffey because of colors and picture. I get that. Aesthetics-wise, I do think the Griffey is a nicer card.
I agree.
Deep says 91 is too many for essential credentials being the print run of the Griffey. I think that's a fair point as well. Foul Ball is only taking Griffey. He only collects baseball. Laura's taking the Gretzky. Good evening, Laura. Thorson says, good game, Canada. Not the result I wanted, but I'm proud to be American, as you should, guys. I'm proud of the team. I'm proud of Team USA as well. And I literally feel bad for my American friends who wanted so badly to beat Canada in this hockey game, but I'm certainly happy as a Canadian that did not happen. But you guys, I love all my American friends. Justin Boat is taking the Gretzky. Skeppy says tops is for the Brady. So we're on the same page there, Skeppy. Guys, Rage is in the building, everybody, and he is happy for Team Canada. Moliko's taking the Griffey. Linda says these are the first essential credentials. No, they're not for baseball they are, but not for hockey.
I think in baseball the year before is still called essential credentials for the ones out of 100.
Oh, the Emmitt Smith, like the Barry Sanders. Yeah.
I could be wrong about that though.
Professor is taking the Gretzky. Moliko is taking the OG Griffey. Tesla's taking the Gretzky all day. The only high-end modern, ultra-modern cards I dare deal in is hockey, but both cards are gold. You can't go wrong either way. I actually have a Jonathan Quick, Skeppy Griffey, LGC Griffey, Rage Griffey. Okay, Adam, you wanted to jump in.
I was just say the only thing that's worth pointing out here is that 9.5 on that Griffey being the original, altering numbers set, the now and the thens, or the now and the futures. That's a big 9.5. Like that's a grade that really matters. The 9.5 on the 2012 probably not as important as it is on the 97.
Possibly not. I think that would depend on how well they were produced. Like if you look at the screen right now, it's funny. We have the two yellows beside each other, right? The two nows, the Duncan from 97, the Gretzky from 2012, 15 years later. My point was, first of all, this is produced by Upper Deck. This is produced by Skybox. So different manufacturing, I'm guessing different manufacturing facilities for both of these cards. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's the same company still around making these. So Adam, I hear what you're saying. And I agree. The grade is very important on these cards because they're technology cards, several layers, different foils and acetates and colors. In any event, Gretzky wins this one for the this or that. But we have more. We got more. Brent says, God damn, I love America. Moliko says McDavid taking the torch from Crosby. I'm not going to put it that way. I'm going to say Crosby had as much to do with this tournament as McDavid did, maybe even more. And I would rather say that Crosby gave the torch to McDavid versus him taking it. If Gretzky was in an Oilers uniform, Skeppy would go with that one. Gretzky's first essential credentials. Yes, for sure. Agree with that. Big price on the Duncan, says I'm only sleeping at 52.8. It is a rookie. Okay. Adam, you were going to jump in?
I wasn't. I would just say, though, on the Duncan, that PSA 10 there, that's the story. That's why that one hit such a huge number, because that's not a card that we often see get anywhere near that number.
But isn't it still like a great rookie year card of his? Like,
please don't think I'm being disparaging.
No. What's his PMG red out of 90 worth in a PSA 7, which is the equivalent of a PSA 10, as far as PMGs go?
Yeah, you're right. It's just the grade there really took that to the next level, because what I said about how that 97, the 98 Griffey being a 9.5 is a big deal. That Duncan and a 10, I mean, you can see right here, it's a pop 3. That's just a huge card.
Huge card. All right, let's go to the next one, guys. Here we go. Couple of hockey RPAs with the lowest number of colors possible for each card. The Ovechkin, 1-color black, or the McDavid, 2-color blue and white. Both BGS 9s with 10 autos. Both out of 99. For me, it's pretty easy. Adam, I know this isn't your forte, but I'm curious what you would go with.
So I don't think it's the one that sold for more, but for me, it's the Ovechkin, because he's done it, right? He's already at the top of the record books, or almost there. And I love what you said about the 1-color patch. Like, I just love knowing that that's original. I love that it's from the first year of the Cup. It's a historic card. There's no risk there. I love it. And so for me, it's not close. It's the Ovechkin.
I'm going with the Ovechkin as well in this case, simply because Well, not simply, but because number one, he's the more important player as of right now in the history of the sport. Also, there are fewer 3-color patches. So the one color, it's a more common one color. Whereas, and I'm just gonna bring up the values too now really quick here, guys. So we can see the McDavid does 45.6, the Ovechkin does 34.5. But the McDavid, I mean, like I said, out of the 99 copies of this card, I think like 96 or 97 of them, it's in the 90s, are 3-color. So there's really very few, which might make the 2-color rarer. But in any event, you know, he did score a big goal. He scored the golden goal tonight. That's huge. But to me, long term, Ovechkin's got a Stanley Cup. He will most likely become the all-time leading goal scorer in the NHL. So I think it's first year cup as well. So that's where I'm going. But let's put that back up on the screen and go to the chat now and see what you guys are saying. Lantern comes through and says, okay, sorry. Linda's first says McDavid. Lantern says McDavid. Signed in Slab McDavid, Nikola Tesla McDavid. That's 4 McDavid, Justin Boat Ovi, Sundin Ovi, Rage Ovi, LGC Ovi. We are tied. Linda's first says Ovi will have the goal record, which will be a big deal. LGC says game used Ovi versus photo shoot McDavid. Big deal. I'm only sleeping says Ovechkin. I think Ovechkin took the lead in this one. I think so. And Anthony, Canada, we did it, buddy. We did it. We won the tournament. All right. Looks like Ovechkin went. Oh, Mollico comes in with a late vote for McDavid as well. And I'm not going to fault either way you go on this. Professor is coming in with Ovi as well.
Are you going to go rewatch that game? I sure hope so.
Yeah. I'm going to watch probably the last half of the third period and the overtime. Yeah.
How big of a game was that? Like, as far as like, are there going to be bigger games this season? Are there going to be bigger games over the course of a decade? Like, how would you?
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, you know, Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals, is that as big as this? Yes, I think it is, because this Four Nations tournament, it did not include Alexander Ovechkin. It did not, like, it was missing the Russians, the Germans, the Slovaks, the Czechs. I mean, all great. They could have all iced lineups that could have challenged Sweden and Finland pretty nicely. And if Russia was in this, could have been Russia, Canada, or Russia, USA. Just depends how the round robin would have gone. So, yeah, that's why I think the tournament was awesome. But really, the tournament was, it truly, especially where the world is at right now, it came down to Canada versus USA. That's what was big about this tournament. Never mind Sweden and Finland. No offense to them or their fans, but this tournament was about that. So, especially considering the Russians weren't in it and they're a powerhouse. So I think the fact that they weren't in it makes it a little bit less of a legitimate best of the, world best. So, all right, let's go on to, we'll do some comments quickly here. Oh, these are long. Nikola Tesla, the only Ovechkin rookie I have is the MVP rookie. Pulled it myself. Very cool. Deep says, guys, I really enjoy having the show and I'm very grateful. Can't imagine not having you guys for this. Thank you very much, Brent. And Brent, we got to get you back on Sports Cards Live soon. You got on the first 2 episodes in the new format, 2.0. Haven't had you on yet. We'll get you back in April, hopefully, buddy. Linda's first says, my nephew, who is a huge Sid fan, was at the game and met Sid's mom and dad. He's so happy. That's so cool to hear. Thorson says, I'll take Ovi short-term, McDavid long-term, but give me Kaprizov to the top. Rage, I'll watch the whole thing, and that's why I'm late. Hey, better late than never, buddy. Deepest game to come back on. Justin says, Jay Lee and Adam are world class. Thank you, Justin. This chat is world class. Adam? Yeah.
Yes.
Collector Creative Sports Talk was going crazy today about what a great product the Four Nation tournament was and how the NHL blew the doors off the NBA. I got to say, going into the Four Nations tournament, I was very skeptical that it wouldn't be anything more than a glorified all-star game because, Russia wasn't in it. But when I saw the players, especially how they started the first Canada-US game with all those fights right out of the gate, showed how serious they were, that these players were willing to risk their NHL season for this tournament. I realized that this was a very important tournament that will never be forgotten, ever. As far as like Canada-US hockey history, this game's going to go down. This tournament will go down as an all-time tournament, and I'm so glad to hear that it was well received, and it was well received. Adam?
The most key ingredient to make something like this tournament work, we've seen it over and over again, is that the competitors have to care. And it's that simple. It's like everybody asks the question, why does the NBA All-Star Game suck? Because it's been awful for 20-something years. Like almost every year it's been really bad for a long time. And it's because they don't care. And the question is, how do you get guys to care? And you never want to end up there. But this tournament, like even I, as a non-hockey guy, even I saw those fights. Even I saw, the things that people were saying and doing with this tournament. I love that. I love it. Because I'll watch anything if it's people really competing in a sport. But if they don't care, and that's the NBA's problem right now, is you don't always know that the NBA players care even during meaningful games.
Right. And I mean, you look at how both Canada and the US, well, all 4 teams cared, but we really only care about Canada and the US right now as they were in the gold medal game. So amazing how much they did care. You go back to the Miracle on Ice when USA won in 1980. You go back to the World Cup in 1996. I remember I was flying to a family emergency when that game was going on, and I was heartbroken that the US beat Canada then. You look at the golden goal Crosby scored in the 2011 Olympics. I mean, 2010 Olympics, I get, whatever year it was. Amazing. Like this tournament is in line with those as far as importance, I believe. Rage, the game 20 minutes from your house. Oh my goodness, how cool it would have been to be there. Tampa says, tough loss for the USA tonight. That could have been the perfect all-time Cinderella story. You may have talked about all this already, but I'm late. Yeah, we've been talking about it. Tampa, welcome to the show. And I mean, I don't know if it would have been a Cinderella story. I mean, I thought Team USA had the advantage because of Hellebuck and the goaltending, where Canada didn't. So I thought it was pretty even. It was pretty even. Let's face it. Both games went to overtime between the two teams. Could have gone either way. So I don't know that would have been a Cinderella story personally, but I hear what you're saying. It's just because of the Canada's hockey dominance, and I don't mean in the NHL. I mean by place of birth. Nikola Tesla, I just didn't like Canada booing the Star. Okay, first of all, I have to talk about this for 1 second, because I want to say that Canada did not boo the Star Spangled Banner. I'm Canadian, and I hated that. I hated that those people who were probably drunk in the stands that night booed the American national anthem. I'm Canadian through and through, you guys, and that bothered the hell out of me. I hated it. I hated that Americans thought that Canada booed your national anthem. Trust me when I tell you, none of my friends would have booed your national anthem. None of my family, no one I know would have booed the U.S. national anthem ever. So please, to my American friends, chalk that up to a bunch of idiots that did that. And if you're a Canadian watching right now and you're someone who booed the national anthem, you just heard what I think of you. I don't care what's going on politically. We have too many friends and family. The U.S. has been the best neighbor we could want. I'm putting all the tariff stuff out of sight. That is one man's idea. That's it. So listen, that's what I want to say. Please don't think Canada booed the national anthem. Canada didn't. A group of drunk idiots did.
This is something that we see a lot when people refer to a whole group and they say, I don't like this group because they did this. It's how the world works. Right. And I always sort of try to remind people that it's a group. So please don't ever lump a whole group of people together. Right. And Jeremy, I know you belong to a group in your life that sometimes gets lumped into, people say, I hate this group. And I am too. Right. We all have our groups that people, lump us into things, and it doesn't feel good. So the question that I would ask is, what percentage, if you had to guess, and you probably don't even know, but what percentage of the people in the crowd that were Canadian were booing? Is it half? Is it less than half? Is it, what do you think?
It's low. It's the people up in the top stands that were doing it. It's sub
10%, sub 20%,
maybe 10%.
That's
it.
If we say, oh gosh, Canadians are all idiots because of the 10%, then we have a problem too. You can never take that line in life. Just recognize there are Canadians who are idiots, and there are Americans who are idiots, and there are every type of people who are idiots. And if you don't realize that as an adult, I'm sorry, but you've sort of missed a lot about life. You can't put everybody in the same group. You never can.
No, you cannot. I'm going to ignore all the comments coming in now about that. We're just, except for the ones that are telling me I make a great point and that you in the States love me. I love you too. I love my American friends, guys. And trust me, 95%, if not more, of Canadians love our friends south of the border and would never, ever boo your national anthem. And I was really concerned at the beginning of the game tonight. Are the Americans going to retaliate and boo the national anthem? And how happy was I that you didn't? You being the not you. I don't want to do the same thing. That the drunks at that game did not boo the Canadian national anthem. I'm glad that didn't happen, because that would have just been retaliatory, and it just shows some class. And I'm sure there were some boos. I just couldn't hear them, but it just shows that, some class down there in Boston. And I think that was great. So I'm glad that did not happen down there. Okay.
We got some more of this or that's.
Yeah, let's go to the next one. Here we go. So this didn't age well. I probably should have done the NTRPA, Adam. Logo man. I'll take the Logo man just for value at this point. How about you?
The Chrome Refractor is a great card. Like I said, look at the pop. It's amazingly low. But yeah, it's, how I feel about the Logo man. I kind of put myself out there at the beginning saying, remember, because it was less than half of the NTRPA, and I said, I think I'd rather have that than the NTRPA. And in the end, that came to fruition. And we didn't know that would happen. I just, you have to think like a collector. And there's very few Logo man autos, especially rookies of Steph Curry. So those people are going to fight over him. And that's what happened tonight.
Moloko says logo sticker.
Moloko said early on, I don't like the sticker. I think it would do better without it. And I thought that is a really good topic that we could talk about for a long time. I just think I agree it's not perfect with a sticker. Obviously, you'd like it to be more visible. Jeremy didn't even see it at first, and I think most people are probably the same. Yeah. But it's still an autograph Logo man rookie card. It is, and it might not be perfect, but if it was perfect, it would be $6 million. So, and just to be real technical, it's an autograph sticker affixed to a card. That's true.
But I hear you. It's attached. It's attached. It ain't coming off. Deep says, Adam, just say no to stickers. That's my motto too, Brent, for sure.
And you know what, Brent? I don't own a single sticker auto. I don't. So I'm with you.
I have one just because the patch is so beautiful.
Wait, what's the card? I don't know this about you. What's the card that you have the sticker auto?
I'll show you it. I'll bring it up on my phone here in a second. I'll find it, but I'll grab it here. Let me see. It is a. Let me find it here.
While you're pulling it up, you look at Brent's comment here, and he's exactly right. He says, agreed, Adam, if it was on card, it would be 10x. This is the part that people always sort of throw the baby out with the bathwater. They say, I just don't like sticker autos, so I'm not going to even look at it. Well, that might be true, but again, you got to remember it's a rookie Logo man auto. And if it was on card, it's a 7-figure card for certain.
Here, so here. Oh, that didn't work. Okay, we'll just have to stick it to here, but there's the card. That's a sticker auto. It's a Leaf Pearl Timu Solani out of 5, and it's just the patch is beautiful. The autograph on the sticker is even beautiful. That's my only sticker auto in my collection.
Did you show him this card when you saw him in person?
No.
You should have. That would have been amazing.
I got to interview him twice last year. I could have done maybe I'll do it next. Maybe I'll do it this year at some point.
There's going to be great content that came out of that, and I want you to remember that I had the idea. Just tag me in the reel at least.
Done for sure. Okay, couple more comments here. Let's see what we got. Oh, Sundin. No, the Logo man is event worn on the Steph. Collector Creative is taking the Logo man. Justin Bowe's taking the Refractor. I respect that. Anani says Crosby's a legend. LGC is taking the Logo man. Thorson says, Jeremy, any good American beer I can bring to you on Saturday? Take advantage. I mean, no, I'm a Coors Light guy. If I drink beer, which I might drink 7 alcoholic servings a year. Like that, I do not drink much at all, but Coors Light is my beer of choice. I like a clean, crisp lager if I'm going to drink a beer. Nikola Tesla says, what is the point of sticker autos? It's so lazy, especially for it's not a matter of lazy guys at all. It's not a matter of lazy. It's a matter of logistics. It has nothing to do with laziness. It has to do with logistics and getting cards to market. So lazy is not the right term, Nikola Tesla. Moloko, you got your first graded Temu. Congratulations. Professor's taking the logo, man. Okay. We're going to keep on. No, Kendall, I do not know when Edmonton Expo is taking dealer requests. I'm sorry, I do not know. Okay, let's go to the next one, Adam. Boom, here we go. Vintage basketball versus vintage basketball. The Wilt Chamberlain 61 Fleer and a PSA 8 versus the 48 Bowman George Mikan and a BGS 7.5. Oh boy, Adam, this one's tough, right? Is it tough for you? Which one?
It's the
Mikan. It's the Wilt. Why?
In general,
great. Oh, okay, go.
In general, the cards head to head, it's the Mikan, but we're comparing the whole right here, right? And it's a PSA 8 versus a BVG 7.5, and the Wilt in an 8. It's just it's a wonderful card that I would love to own. And the Mikan, you sort of look at, and as we talked about earlier, you sort of wonder, why did that end up in a BVG holder? David said, hey, that would be a 3.5 for PSA. We don't really know that. That could be right. David's really smart on those things. He could be right. But like,
no, he was shooting way. I think he was tongue in cheek on that. There's no way that's a 3.
Maybe. I'm not sure. But what I do know is, like, card for card, like, I would take, if you just say, which of these two cards do you like more? I love rarity. And the Mikan's about 6 times rarer than the Wilt is. It is a much, much rarer card. But the Wilt in an 8, I have to defer to that. The whole package, it's the Wilt.
So for me, now I own a Wilt. I have a 7.5, which I think is as nice, if not nicer, than this 8. I don't own a Mikan. I never have. Considering I already have a Wilt, I would take the Mikan, and I would keep my 7.5. I wouldn't even. How am I trying to say this? Now, if I didn't have my 7.5, then which way would I go? I'd probably rather buy a nice centered PSA 6 Wilt and grab this Mikan. I think I'm leaning towards the Mikan in this case. What did they sell for? There's the question. I don't remember, so I'm going to go look and see what they did. The Wilt did $30,600, and the Mikan did $19,200. So the Wilt's worth about, over 30% more. I do like the Wilt card better. Like, if you look, hold on a second here, guys. I want to do something here. We're going to take that off, and we're going to take that off for a second. If you look above me, you see I have right above my bald head, I have the Wilt on my wall in a painting. I don't have the Mikan.
Nope.
So maybe I got to rethink that. Maybe I got to kind of rethink that and say, maybe I would go with the Wilt then.
And 61 Fleer is maybe, it's one of the great moments in basketball card history. It's one of the greatest sets ever made. I would also say, and this is kind of a funny topic here, but I would say they're 4th and 5th all time in terms of iconic basketball cards. I have the Wilt number 4 and the Mikan number 5, and on another day I might have the Mikan 4 and the Wilt 5. And
so you have Jordan ahead of it. You have Russell ahead of it.
I have Russell after Mikan. He's number 6.
Oh, so Jordan, and then you're gonna have the Bird Magic in there,
number 2. Yep.
And is Kareem? What's 3?
I have the Kobe 96 tops, including all. I have that number 3 personally.
Okay. All right. Tampa was taking the logo man in the last one. Nikola Tesla's. I understand the point and the logistics and all that, but still, they should try to do it right, even if it takes long. They can't do it right like that, Nikola Tesla, because if they do, then people are going to complain the cards are coming out 2 years too late. So they can't, and they're at the mercy of the players. So it's either sticker autos or no additional autos. Literally, that's what it comes down to. They can't do it otherwise. So you may as well just kind of disembark that horse. I'm telling you right now. Tough one for Linda's first. Tampa says Wilt. LGC says Mikan. Thank you, Zach. I appreciate the offer. Nicola's taken Wilt. Signed and slabbed. Wilt times 1,000,000. Wilt for Moloko. Wilt for Linda's first. Mikan for Justin Bowe. That blue background is perfect. Wilt for Skeppy. Nikola Tesla used to have a Mikan way back in the day. He bought from Mr. Mint. Very cool. Collector Creative, Zach, Wilt all day. Mikan is significant, but Wilt is the one everyone desires, and it's a PSA 8. Yeah, see, those last two things don't impact me. The one everyone desires, who cares what everyone desires? What do you desire? Brent made a comment earlier about groupthink, and I agree with that. But all that said, to Zach's point, everyone desires it for a reason, and that reason is worthy as well. So I don't mean to be so aggressive with that. Signed and slabbed, I think PSA would crush that Mikan for the discoloring. I don't think they'd crush it. I think it's a 6 all day long. Moloko says Wilt is just a nicer card. Linda says the Mikan reminds me of Rocket Richard's menacing look on the hard driving hard. Mikan looks like a yearbook photo, says Moloko. Tampa says I'll take the cards coming out, no problem, if they're game used jerseys and on card autos, for sure. Skeppy says Wilt reminds me of Ted Williams for each of their places in the hobby. Very good players, but stats, but always undervalued. Yeah, fair comment right there too.
The Wilt 48 Bowman in a high grade is one of the most expensive basketball cards of all time.
You said Wilt, but you meant Mikan. Yes.
Mikan, yes. Yeah. But it's actually true of the Wilt as well. I mean, in anybody's, I said they're 4 and 5 in terms of most iconic cards ever. That's not a hot take. That's everybody's list. These are two of the greatest cards ever.
So the Mount Rushmore of basketball cards it's the Mikan, it's the Wilt, it's the Russell, and it's the Jordan Fleer. That's the Mount Rushmore, like official Mount Rushmore.
When you say official, what does that mean?
PSA set registry, Joe Orlando did these back in the day, and they could change over time for sure. But
so I put the Kobe, and some people are going to sit there and go, really, on the Kobe? Especially in terms of chrome and how important it is in chrome refractors and stuff. I think you have to put it there, but I put the tops, I put that all together. That is something that I wouldn't have said 5 or 10 years ago, but now I think is true. So I think it's probably changed. And I wouldn't put the Jabbar quite as high as it used to be, but everybody has different thoughts on that, and they're all great cards.
And for me, I just like nothing after Kobe wouldn't even, it's not even on there for me. Like, it's not even a top 10 for me, I don't think, because I'm going to favor the vintage. I'm going to favor that stuff when I'm coming up with my, iconic cards. I understand how important the Kobe Topps Chrome Refractor is. It's Kobe Bryant, but I don't know how you get over, the Mikan being, what it is, the Wilt, the Russell, the Jordan, and the Bird Magic. I don't know how you knock any of those off for a modern card, but I understand. No, I do know how you do. I just can't do it myself. I know how you do though, Adam, and I respect that. I have no issue with it. I'm not arguing. Okay. Ready for the last one?
Man, we only have one more.
Only one more.
Okay, let's do it.
Now this one, I don't know how happy I am with this matchup, but I thought that Barry Sanders to me the Sanders is a huge card to me. Mm-hmm. The 99 Skybox Essential Credentials now. Barry Sanders is out of 30. It's a PSA 10 versus the PMG Green. Emmitt Smith, PSA 5. So the Smith is out of 15. The Sanders is out of 30. The Sanders is a PSA 10. The Smith is a PSA 5. They're both from iconic sets, Essential Credentials. They're two of the best running backs of all time, along with Jim Brown and Walter Payton, maybe two of the top 4 of all time right there. So with all that said, I think this comes down to personal preference. Do you love PMGs or not? Do you like Barry Sanders over Emmitt Smith? How much? I don't know. Let's see what the chat says. Adam, should we start with you or start with the chat?
Either way, whatever you want.
Let's start with the chat. Okay, Signed and Slabbed is taking the Barry Sanders. Deep is taking the green PMG, no problem. Tampa, the PMG. Justin Bode, the PMG. Professor is taking Barry Sanders, as is Linda's first. And then LGC is taking the Barry Sanders. I don't have any green PMGs like from 97 in my collection. I've got from 2012 hockey, but not from 97. I have 2 red PMGs from 97 in my collection. So the green Emmitt would sort of stick out. Whereas I have some 99 Essential Credentials, Barry Sanders. So value aside, I'm probably going to take the Barry Sanders in this case. Value aside. Now, I don't want to just say value aside. Let's look at the values, and then we'll go to the chat.
You already did the chat.
I already did the chat. Well, there's more there. Sorry. Okay. 48,000 on the Emmitt Smith. And way down here, 20,000 on the Barry. So twice the price, more than twice the price for the Emmitt Smith, Adam. Where do you fall on this one?
So it's always interesting to hear how different people think, and people are talking about aesthetics and things. The Emmitt's like his best card, or better than all non-1-of-1s. And the Barry's not even anywhere near his best card. It's the second year. It's the second year with the different numbering credentials. It's the third year of credentials. It's a rare card. It's not anywhere near as rare as the Emmitt, though. There's twice as many of the Barry. So it's nowhere near as high on Barry's list on his canon as the Emmitt is. It's second year. It's not as rare. Like, to me, Brent and I are going to be aligned on this. The Emmitt was, like, for me, this of all the this or that's, this is the one that was not close to me. But the chat is completely disagrees with me, and that's great. Oh, but wow. I've got the Emmitt by a really, really long ways. And if you were to ask me before which one's going to suffer more, I would have said I'll bet the Emmitt sells for 2 to 3 times the price of the Barry, and that would have, I think you just said that would have bore out.
Yeah, 48 versus 20, almost 2.5x.
Because just to be clear, like, I think you want to. I would want to own a player's best card, like a lot, and that's. I know Barry's more popular, but they were sort of contemporaries and close at the time. Like, the Emmitt by a lot.
Okay, I think that's fair. I have no issue with anyone taking Emmitt. For my personal collection, I'm going with the Barry Sanders. I just love the card. I think I love the way it's almost a color match with the helmet and the colors there, the blue in the inner little foil wave looking thing. I just love the card. The PSA 10 is nice. I'm not a grade. I'm not a slave to the grade by any means, but if it is in fact gem mint, that means something too. But I also don't really care about low grade PMGs. I think that's a great card too. So for me, it's the Barry by, like, not a,
you love Barry.
Huh?
You love Barry.
I do. It's not a landslide. Rage says Sanders and twice on Sunday Barry was double the talent Emmitt was. Okay. Nikola Tesla is a Bears fan. Peyton is my all-time favorite running back, but Sanders is my number 2, so I'll take the Sanders. Sundin is taking Emmitt Smith. Deep says green PMG is top. Yeah, I mean, can't really argue that. Skeppy says, which Jordan on the route mushroom? I'm talking about the 86 Fleer Jordan when I say that, Skeppy. Skeppy says Emmitt Smith. Tampa says there's just nothing like a green PMG when it's in hand. You almost can't even vote unless you've had one in hand. Well, you can. I mean, I've got red PMGs in hand. I've held greens, but in any event, they're beautiful too, no doubt. Sign and Slab says deep value always pumping. Deep value, Adam is touching on significance, which is important. Rage says if Barry had that line, he would have put that record so out of reach. Only a robot would have broke it in 2980.
Let me point out something real quick. It seems like a lot of the comments sort of, I talk about this a lot. It's like distilled down to player. Like, this isn't a question about which player was better. That's part of it. But the question is, which card do you like better? And this is where I like Brent and I are talking the same language here. It's not like if you flip the sets, then it's easily the Barry, right? Like, easily, by like not even close. But you've got to take the whole thing together. And I think sometimes when we vote and we talk about these things, we just distill it down to this basic form, and you've got to look at the whole picture. And that's why in this case, and this is what I think, but what do I know? I don't know anything. That's why in this case, the Emmitt's like so much more valuable because it has, and I'm not a green PMG guy, but like it's his best card, You know
what's interesting, Adam, is that we've been doing these this or that's as if value didn't count. Right. But what if you were to change it and say, okay, would you rather spend 48,000 on Emmitt or 20,000 on Barry? I mean, that to me makes it even easier. Yeah. I'm taking Barry either way. Like, that's a card that I would enjoy more in my collection. But when you put the value to it as well, like what money would I have to spend? Give me the Barry Sanders all day long for, 40% of the price of Emmitt Smith.
Great take. Personally. It's a great take. I can't afford either one of those right now, so I wouldn't buy either one of them.
Right. There you go. All right. Let's see what else we got in the chat here, guys. Yes, Nikola Tesla, they are extremely condition sensitive. Deep says this isn't about talent, it's about the card. So that's interesting because it's about both, you guys.
It's about both.
The card is made up of several things: the condition, the player, the set it's from, the year it came out. There are many factors. It's not just about the set. This is not PMG Green versus Essential Credentials now. No, this is Emmitt Smith PMG Green PSA 5 versus Barry Sanders Essential Credentials now PSA 10. That's what we're debating here. At least that's what in my mind. You guys might think, okay, you could even out the grade. Well, that's really the only thing you could even out, because the sets and players are distinctively different. So it is about the player too. But I'm also like, Brent, you said earlier, set over or like card over player. To me, it's player. Player is the most important thing to me. But there are instances where, I like both players. So maybe the card will be the tiebreaker. That is not a rule that applies 100% of the time. Player over set or set over player. Those things are fluid and are going to move depending on the two things we are comparing.
I think all of it is important. And I kind of think you're both wrong. Like, I don't think you would always take player. I know you wouldn't.
No.
You care about,
because I recognize MJ is a better player than Shaq, but I prefer to collect Shaquille O'Neal, and I can get his cards cheaper. So in some cases, I'll save the money and take the Shaq.
The way you could make this comparison easier to me or clearer to me is if you said, hey, that Barry, let's change it from a 98 or excuse me, a 99 to a 98, which is the first year of the different numbering. And let's assume that the card was numbered out of 20. Which of those two would you take? And I think, and I could be wrong about Brent here, but I bet he would look at it and go, gosh, that's a really hard question, because it's taking the whole card and everything about it into consideration. And I'm not saying you're not doing that, by the way, Jeremy. I'm not saying you're not doing that. But for me, that would be really hard, because it would be so much more of an even thing, because I would take Barry over Emmitt. I would. I don't think it's light years different, but I would take Barry over Emmitt. But it's light years different that it's the first year green over the second year credentials, and it's rarer. Like, to me, those are the difference makers there. But you have to look at it all together.
I have to address Brent here. He says, you are wrong, Jay Lee. No, Brent, you are wrong. And I'll tell you why. Because these are opinion-based questions. And I'm also basing mine on 45 years of experience in this hobby. I'm gonna flex my experience, and that's 45 years of coming up with my thoughts and approaches and opinions on what I like. So I know what I like for the most part. I am willing to look at other things and entertain other approaches and maybe, even change my mind over time. Because, even though I'm 45 years in, I am evolving, always evolving. But just to say you are wrong, no, I'm not, Brent. You are wrong. You are wrong. So
I think where Brent's wrong here is you're saying what you like.
He's saying my opinion is wrong.
Right. Exactly. And you are like, I could look at those and say, I think one's clearly better. And I think it's crazy to think that, but you are always, and this is what's great about the hobby, you're always welcome to like what you like and why you like it. And just because history says one thing's better than the other, that does not mean it will always be that way. We touched on that earlier about the corners when we were coming up in the hobby, Jeremy, 30 something years ago. It was all about corners, and now it's all about centering. Were we wrong back then, or are we wrong now? Well, in 20 years, it might change again. So we'll see.
We were probably right at the time and right at the time. And that's why, like, listen, like I said, my tastes do change over time. I'm willing to admit that I don't like cards that I used to like. It really happens quite a bit. But I just think it's just not fair to say that I'm wrong. And it's probably not fair for me to say that Brent is wrong. When I'm saying what Brent is wrong about is saying that I'm wrong, because my opinion isn't wrong.
And he said he was joking, which I didn't know at that moment. But you know what? Let me just say this: every time Brent's here on the chat, it's a better show. And so I always love Brent.
And Brent's welcome on Sports Cards Live on Saturday nights too. I like Brent. I do. This is not about that, and it's really, you know what? He also has a bit of he's newer into the hobby. It's a fresh take. I like these fresh takes. I don't have to agree with them, but I like them. I'm good with it. But I just don't like, it's like this, you watch a movie and someone says, oh, the new Star Wars movie sucked. And I'm like, oh, really? I liked it. So what does that make me? If you say to me, not that it sucked, but if you were to say to me, Jeremy, that new Star Wars movie, it was bad. It was bad. Objectively speaking, it was bad. And I'm like, well, I liked it. So are you telling me that my opinions are invalid? Was I wrong to enjoy that movie? No. That's the way I took that comment. So, and I know Brent, he's not being a jerk about it.
No, he's not. And again, Brent, please, you already know this, but we always love your comments. So always keep making them. I like Jay Mollick.
We always love your comments, Brent, but only make the ones I agree with. Okay.
No, that's the thing is that, this is always my tagline. Reasonable people can disagree. And I love it when Jeremy and I disagree because it creates better content when we're sort of on opposite sides of things, but we don't fake it. We're not first take. We always sort of look at each other and go, gosh, we agree on this, but it's pretty neat when we don't because that's good. I think that's good content.
Yeah, here I see it. He says saying you were wrong was a joke. Well, you should have clarified in that post because it wasn't there. Like it was quite simply you are wrong, but I appreciate it. Okay, so Mollico thinks the greens are ugly. Prove me wrong, Let's an Eagles play. You can't prove you wrong. It's an opinion. It cannot be proved wrong. Ali says the player is huge for me. Ever since I was a kid, it was all about the player. I never want to lose that. I think that's an important sort of thing, right? Like I don't collect cards of players I don't like unless I'm working on a set that I decided I'm going to like, unless it's a set that I just love the looks of. And there's only a couple of those that I do collect that way. Agreement is not required. That is correct. Respect of each other and our opinions is required. However, unless you're being a complete idiot, then I'm not going to respect it. But that's very much the exception. Adam, the Sports Cards Live mediator.
I laughed out loud at that. I also want to point out David's can this or that even be valid without a Mookie card? Did you notice David came in for the one time we were talking about Mookies and immediately left? It's like he was here for that and then he was just gone the rest of the show.
Yeah, I know. Well, he likes what he likes, right? He likes what he likes. Nicola, this reminds me of the debate from back in the day on whether or not it was appropriate to get the rookie cards autographed and if it lowered their values. Yeah, I mean that it's funny because there's been a rise, of course, in the acceptability or the acceptance rate of on-card, autos, vintage on-card autos, like, before we had pack pulled autos, but it's still highly frowned upon and disliked by many people who still think that autographs on card ruined the card, regardless of who signed it. They are altered. They're simply altered cards. They are, a PSA. If you have a pen or a pencil mark on a card, they give it the MK qualifier, MK for mark, but they don't for an on-card auto. They will grade the card and grade the auto. So there's only one person who's allowed to put a marking on a card, and that's the player. But here's a question. What if I have a recording of a player, let's say it was Mickey Mantle back in 1965. What if I have a recording of him taking a pen and scribbling a bunch of circles on a card? What is that? Is that an MK or is that a Mickey Mantle scribble autograph or something?
It's a mark.
I don't know. It's just a weird thing to think about.
I think it's a mark for whatever it's worth.
Thank you, Brent. He respects both of us very much. Appreciate that. Nicola, was always fine with it for the most part. Yeah, I was, as a kid, I did not want my cards autographed. I would get something else autographed. I didn't need the card autographed. But now I'm totally okay with it. I'm not out there getting them autographed. I have 3 in my collection, but it's not something I'm avidly or actively collecting for myself.
Hey, what do you think about Thorson's comment here? I really think essential credentials are just too confusing for the average hobbyist to sustain long-term value. What do you think about that, Jeremy?
I don't agree. And here's why. I think hobbyists and collectors want those challenges. I think advanced collectors especially want the challenge of what is this? Like, look at a guy like Brent, deep value. Like, he's all in. He wants to learn about these things. And the more you learn, the more you come to appreciate. So they really aren't that confusing. It's just like, serial numbered one way and reversed the other way. Like, it's not that confusing for new collectors. You know, I guess if I look at the comment really where he says, you know, well, he says the average hobbyist. I mean, they're not all that confusing. You just have to think about it for a minute and then you get it, or have it explained well to you. So I don't know. I mean, I don't mind it.
We can point at a lot of instances where average hobbyists didn't know about something that then increased in value significantly. The Babe Ruth Baltimore News card comes to my mind right away. But that Allen Iverson that sold last month became, by about 10x, the most expensive Allen Iverson card ever. And it's a card that's never moved, and it's an essential credentials card. Yeah. So if that is any indicator that something can be really successful or valuable in the long run, even if mainstream collectors don't know about it, you know, I think that's a pretty good example.
Yeah. Well, and the more time that goes by, the more people are learning to understand it. And then it won't be that confusing, because people are just, it's like anybody who is afraid of technology, like anyone who is, you know, I don't say a Luddite, but like, you know, you got your first iPhone. Come on, that was confusing. You know, I'm touching little things now instead of the little buttons on the BlackBerry. Like, that was confusing, but it took over, you know? So I'm going to give a little bit more credit to the average hobbyist and think that the average hobbyist, as the years go by, are becoming more and more familiar and okay with the essential credentials. So I think it's a reasonable question or discussion topic that Thorsten's putting out, but I don't think that's the case. I really don't.
I don't. I think there's this sort of like blend of things that really matter. And we've talked about player today. Somebody said that they don't ever want to get away from the player being the most important. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that's a great take. But also the significance of the set, the rarity of the set, the condition of the cards and how it fits all together. And then also, really importantly, where that card fits in that player's sort of canon. All those things together, and maybe some other things that I'm forgetting, those are the things that sort of are part of the equation as to whether somebody is going to want to own a card and whether that's something that can become something that blows up in the future. And that's not what everybody's wanting. Not everybody wants a card that's just going to blow up, but those are some of the factors.
Well, Deep says, I love complexity. The more, the better. Thorsten says, okay, but if 50 years from now I own one, it will have to take a bunch of explanation for 7 out of people to make it cool. I don't know. Or you ignore what the set is and just say, hey, look, I have a card numbered out of 74. There's only 74 of these.
But I want to point out, Thorsten's exactly right here. It is going to take explanation for 7 out of the 10, but it doesn't, you don't need, like, this is really important to understand. You don't need most people to understand what a card is for it to be really valuable. And Jeremy's nodding because this is true, Thorsten. Like, a lot of cards, the Baltimore News is the best example of this. When we did the Iconic 100, I remember talking to, if he's still on here, David, about this at the time. The Baltimore News Ruth, nobody, like a lot of people are like, I don't even know what that card is. It's probably the second most valuable card in the world next to the Wagner, unless you talk condition and then you get to the Mantle 10s, right? But as far as like straight up the card, just the value of the card as it is, that Ruth is so valuable, and most people, even most people on this chat right now, don't know the card without having to like Google it first. That's because there's a small group of people that really want it, and that's all that matters when there's only a few of the card available.
Right on. I see I have a question from the chat. I'm just going to go pull up my picture of it. Okay, so first of all, it's nice to see that Signed and Slabbed and Deep Value are getting along now. Junk Wax says, Jeremy, what is your favorite card in your PC? Well, this is easy for me now because I bought it in August of this year and I've shown it quite a few times, but it's this guy right here, 1933 Gaudy Babe Ruth in a PSA 1 holder. And I couldn't be prouder of the fact that my favorite card is a PSA 1, Adam. But there it is again. It's an absolutely beautiful PSA 1. And there's nothing card. And the back is beautiful too, by the way. So,
ironically, Jeremy, my favorite card is a PSA Authentic. So, you know, you can see based on Jeremy and my favorite cards, how much, you know, sometimes grade might actually matter in terms of our favorite cards. Maybe not very much.
And I've had people say to me, why don't you resubmit that? So you guys know Mr. Fosh, Mr. Fosh on Instagram. He was over here. He was in this room with me for dinner. Him and his wife came over for dinner. They were in town just on Sunday. And I showed him this card and I said, this is my favorite card. It's a PSA 1. And he said, would you consider resubmitting? I said, no, I don't want this in a 2. I want this to be a 1 because I think it's so cool that it's a 1 when it should be like a 5 or a 6. It's that nice. It's got a few wrinkles you can't even see. I couldn't even show them where they were. I'm trying to be like, see, here they are. Couldn't even, like, I've seen them in the right light. Anyway, that's my favorite card in my collection. Junk Wax Museum, thank you for asking. Linda's first says, Adam, is it worth so much because Ruth was from Baltimore, as far as the Baltimore News?
It's worth so much because it's his first card, clearly, without debate. It's from 1914, and there's so few of them. And Baltimore, that might play some role, but it's actually like people say, what's the rarest minor league or what's the best minor league card ever? And they sort of forget that one. If that one counts, then that's the answer. Because it's that and the Wagner as far as like the most valuable vintage baseball cards outside of grade that exist.
Robert Scott says, love how that card is always at arm's length. Well, truth be told, Robert Scott, it's a picture on my phone, but it is at arm's length too.
Your love for that though, Jeremy, is now, it's been 6 months ish since you picked it up. Like, you love that card. And I smile every time you pick it up because, and this is what we try to share with the chat every month. It's about the collecting. It's about the cards and why you love them. And so we talk about values because some people really want to talk about values and they're important, but the vast majority of what we want to talk about on the show, I don't speak just for Jeremy or for Jeremy here, but I think we want to talk about the cards and why people love the cards. And you guys do a great job of helping us to do that. And that's why I love the show.
Well, he goes on to ask me, what's my favorite hockey card that I own? And that's really tough. Like, I don't know the answer to that right now, Tampa. Ask me again in the future because I really am not sure off the top of my head what my favorite hockey card is. I like so many. I mean, I have this guy here. This is up there for me. The Gretzky Exquisite RP. It's the oranges are looking red right now on the screen, but that's a deep orange. It's just not showing up right on the screen. That's up there. I also, speaking of PMGs, the Gretzky PMG Green is among my favorites. I mean, these are modern cards, but if I really think back to, non-modern, I love my George Vezina, 1911 C55 rookie, Howie Morenz, Eddie Shore. I love so many of them. Oh, but I really love,
Say it.
Well, I was gonna say, like, it's more of an obscure card, like the 52 Parkhurst, Gordie Howe, and Terry Sawchuk. I love those cards,
I love your hockey love. No matter what you do in the hobby, you always have this like deep and abiding love for hockey and hockey history cards.
It's at my root, but I probably love my vintage baseball even more, which might be weird, but I do. I love my vintage baseball. I also love the second year Bobby Orr card, 67 Topps Bobby Orr, among my favorites. I like it more than the rookie card. All right, guys, I need to confess something, says
I love this. This is amazing.
I really like vintage in low grade with high eye appeal. Yeah, of course you do. I mean, that is the savvy way. That is the way. This is the way.
But Jeremy, you're missing. Brent used to rail, like absolutely rail on the pop report of these low grade vintage cards and just go on about this isn't something that is going to hold. These are huge numbers. So for him saying this right now is sort of like a moment of like real change. It's like a repentance moment. Like,
well, yeah.
Brent is saying, I am convinced. So I've got to know why Brent has done a 180.
I think it's because he's evolved and he has more experience.
Amazing.
And he's seen that it comes back to what I said a couple hours ago about why I believe in these grading the greater companies, like why I think there's value to the eye appeal assessments by whether it's Fanatics Collect or Mike Baker, Diamonds. I think that because not all ones are the same, not all twos are the same. So if you simply look at the pop report, you're missing you're missing 80% of the data. First of all, pop reports are grossly inaccurate. So that's why I'm such a high number at them. Pop reports are grossly inaccurate, first of all.
Can you tell us why?
And second of all, you can have 100 PSA 2s and 98 of them could look like garbage and 2 could be beautiful. So you can't lump them all together. You know, just like my Babe Ruth PSA 1, that card is nicer than most 6s, literally.
Can you tell us why the pop reports are grossly misstated?
Well, yeah, I think there's 2 reasons. One is, you know, the fact that so many people subscribe to the approach of just keep on submitting the card until you get the grade you want. So the same card can be submitted, you know, over and over and over again. There's that. So there are, you know, the only grade that is not significantly misstated on the PSA pop reports is PSA 10s, because most people don't crack PSA 10s, but some do. There are 10s that do get cracked, believe it or not. So, but that's why 10 is the only grade that you can really rely on. 9s are wildly, especially in modern cards, 9s are wildly overstated. So
yeah, we have some numbered cards that are approaching like 1.5 to 2 times. If you go to GemRate and you do the combined pop report, you can look at like the LeBron Exquisite out of 99, or the Steph Curry National Treasures out of 99, or, you know, there's 20 other cards that we could like rattle off real quick, and you look at the combined number and it's like 2x or 1.5x. And what's interesting about that is some of those have never been graded. So if some of them haven't been graded, and then you're just looking at the ones that have been and then have been graded over and over and over again, some of these cards have been graded 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. And so that'll be something that we can never account for. We'll never know the true population of these cards. It's impossible.
No, it's impossible. That's right. Linda's first says, my favorite card you own is that Gretzky 2008 Jambalaya. I love that card as well. Deep says, Jay Lee, I need your essential credential shack. Don't you have 2 already? Why are you so greedy, Brent? You don't need mine. I think you have 2 at the moment.
Wait, which one do you have?
No, sorry. I was thinking PMG Red.
I was too.
Yeah, but he says essential. I have the future essential credential shack.
You do?
Sorry, Brent. I know you don't have 2 of those. Sorry, buddy.
You have an essential credentials future shack? I didn't know that. That's a great card. Yeah. It's at a 74,
I think, which is why maybe why I said 74 earlier, because I picked that number up. I got that from Josh Dawson. I traded him for it at the Mint Collective.
Gosh, that's a great card. I only own 1 future. It's a Malone. I do own a now that I'm very proud of. I've got a Stockton to 27. That's a big card.
I like this. Skeppy says to me, if my Ruth was in an older slab, would I re-slab it?
No.
Like, I'm just dead. I'm so against giving PSA more money for a job they've already done. Now, if it was an old slab that was all scratched up, and my handy Scratch X 2.0, this stuff couldn't buff out the scratches on the slab, then I might, if they would just re-slab it. Like, I don't want them to regrade it. I just want them to re-slab it. Then maybe I would. But like, I've got another big card in my collection, one of my best cards, which is similar. I have this card here among my favorites, and this is in a very old slab. That's in a, like, I don't know what generation that is, but there you go. That's an early slab right there. Would I re-slab this? Like, I'm dead against paying more money. Like, the card doesn't change. Now, if I were to sell it, maybe I would talk. Maybe I would think about it. You know,
I will tell you, I've done it once in like the last 10 years, and it's such a no-brainer. I had my 2012 gold Steph crossed to a PSA 10, and it's like, it's so much money difference in terms of value. I just felt like I had to do it, and I don't have any regret. I have no regret in doing it. It did cost me $4,000 to cross the card, which just seems insane, doesn't it? Doesn't that just seem insane, Jeremy?
$4,000 to grade it. Yeah, I mean, listen, I would rather say to PSA, let's just confirm that this card is not a counterfeit or trimmed, okay? Or I will sign a release that says, because I don't want their guarantee on the card. I'm willing to sacrifice their guarantee to just pay for the grading service and not fund their insurance policy. You know what I mean? If I could do that, but that's right.
This goes back to Brent's comment a few moments ago when he said, I think it was Brent. He said, you can grade some older slabs because they don't regrade the card. It's worth so much more money is the thing. It's like, it's worth so much more money. It's like, but are you going to sell it, Adam? Well, I'm not going to on the Steph, but it's worth so much more money. I don't know. Maybe I bought in there where I shouldn't have, but it's worth way more than $4,000 more, like way more than $4,000 more. So I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and then listen, I'm not selling these cards yet. So even the Honus Wagner I just showed you, I'm not reslabbing that. Like, I love the card as it is. I don't need a fancy holder, but when it comes time to sell or instructions that will be left in my estate for my family, my wife, my kids, if they're going to sell them after my demise, would be talk to this guy. He's going to make sure that you guys get the most money. Because at that point, all that matters is money. The cards do not mean anything at that point. So it comes down to simply maximizing the return. And then if that means giving PSA $4,000 to up the value by 20 all day long, as much as it would, like, I would roll over my grave. I'll put my family ahead of my pride on that sort of thing. So
that's the thing, is that at some point for most of us, the value does really matter. And so if it does, then it's worth doing.
It doesn't matter until you're going to sell it, right?
That's right. But having said that, the biggest mistake that I made in terms of value of my collection was grading with the wrong graders, because now, like, if my Jordan PMG, would that have been a 9 by PSA if I would have gotten it graded back in 2015? Maybe, and probably. And then I wouldn't have had to pay $4,000 to get it regraded. So should I have done that? Yes, but I made a mistake.
Here's the thing. At the time, you didn't make a mistake. At the time
I didn't.
And now, if you regrade it now, you might make a mistake.
I know.
10, 20 years from now, it might not be PSA. Like, it might not be.
There is a world in which we look around and we go, gosh, you know what's really nice? Old Beckett holders. There's not a lot of them around anymore. Now, some people are like, that's crazy. That'll never happen. Weirder things have happened.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, for sure. Thorson, are you going to find a Nolan Ryan rookie card at the Winnipeg show? I don't know, but I don't have one. I don't own one right now. I used to own a one in a PSA 7 holder, but I no longer own that card. All right, guys, we got to wrap up. We've been going 3.5 hours now, Adam. This has been fun, though. It's, this was fun all the way through. We had Ryan on from Fanatics Collect. We've had action in the chat. We've had some boxing. We had the Canada-US hockey game, this or that, this great conversation on the end. This has been a fun one, Adam. I hope I've enjoyed this. You
gotten so much of a better mood as soon as Canada pulled it off, man. It was like noticeable. You were just so happy. It was awesome. I loved it.
Well, I was also disappointed that I wasn't able to watch the game. I would never miss this, but but the win, I'm going to go watch and just watch all the celebrating for sure. Thank you. Linda's first says, thanks for the show. Thank you very much. Thank you, Nikola Tesla, for coming and all your comments. LGC, please invite Adam onto SCL 2.0. It's funny, like, I will eventually. I've done with Adam, we've done 40, almost 50 of these shows. I've done my Sunday night show with Josh of the Gong Show. We've done almost 80 of them. I feel like I do so much content with Adam and Josh that I don't need more with them. Like, that's kind of the thing, So thank you, Brent. Always good to see you. Deep says, and can Adam and I be on together? Yeah, we'll work that out, guys. We will definitely work that out at some point. Thank you, Robert Scott. Mikey just found this channel through Adam's Instagram. Well, thank you, Adam's Instagram. Mikey, thank you. If you guys aren't subscribed, take a moment to subscribe. Mikey, hope to see you back here. And listen, we will, because me and Adam, we're coming up on, this is 45 times we've done this. Yeah, maybe 46.
And I've had people ask, like, gosh, you spent so much time on those shows. Do they ever get old? Like, I get so amped up. You guys have to know, we get so amped up from the show. We generally finish, we sign off, and then we talk to each other for like another hour.
Not tonight, though. We'll do 5 minutes. Yeah.
Tonight's 5 minutes. Tonight's 5 minutes. But usually it's like
tomorrow.
goes and it goes.
Thank you. Oh, Sundin, yeah, you're welcome for the Hey Duke that you bought, that you got from me. Mikey says we'll be back. Cheers. Well, please, Mikey, do not boo Canada. You can boo the fact that they beat the Americans in the hockey game tonight, but please do not boo Canada.
Right.
We love, and I'm sure you don't mean it that way. I hope
Jeremy,
you Nikola Tesla, we love talking cards as well, because I certainly will not boo the United States. I promise you that.
Jeremy estimated that it was 5% of those people, and you if you weren't here for it, he went off on those 5%. And Jeremy, if the same thing happens here, I'll go off on those 5%. This idea that in the world we're just going to just yell at a whole group for a part of them yelling at us is the most insane thing. It can bother you, but please let it bother you. And I know I'm on my soapbox here, but forgive me. Allow the 5% to bother you for those 5%, but don't ruin it for the other 95. It's not those.
Yeah. It's funny. Canadians have a reputation as of being like almost too friendly and too nice.
Right.
Well, a person who's really nice gets a few, especially like hockey arena beers in them, which are very strong. They lose their class and their grace, and they will start booing our best neighbor's national anthem. And of course, there are political things going on, but like, I do not identify with those people that booed that national anthem. And I'm Canadian through and through. I do not identify with those people. And I can, like I said earlier, I'll say it again though, because we have new people now, is that myself and all the people that I respect and am friends with and my family, none of us would ever boo the American national anthem. We just wouldn't do that. So it was embarrassing. It was a complete embarrassment that those people did that. In my opinion, there might be Canadians who feel differently, and those people, well, I see it differently than they do. But well, Nicholas says I wasn't insulted or anything. I thought it was kind of funny because it was petty. It wasn't even petty. It was what's lower than petty. It was I don't know. It was misdirected is what it was. It was misdirected. We cannot boo the national anthem of the United States of America. We are too similar. Okay, anyway, enough of that, guys. Great show, great time. Congratulations to anyone who won cards tonight. You sellers, congratulations. Adam, thank you for a great episode again. Thank you to Ryan, who joined us, Ryan Tedmus, who joined us earlier. And of course, the MVP, besides Connor McDavid and Nathan McKinnon and Sidney Crosby, is the chat tonight. And no, Franco, we will never become the 51st state. I do not want to become it, and we will not. But it's just not going to happen. But hey, if it does, I'll tell you what, I will. If it does happen, I will embrace it. That I can tell you for sure. But I don't think it's going to happen. All right. Thank you, guys. Adam, you good?
Yeah, it was wonderful. Thank you as always. You're the best in the business at this. And thank you for
the best in the business of what you do, buddy. I appreciate that. And the chat, this is the best chat in the business right here, guys. Thank you for joining us. Okay, by the way, no sports cards live this Saturday. I will be traveling, but I will be back the Saturday after for sports cards live. Already have some guests lined up. It's going to be a great one. Adam, thank you. Guys, this episode of the Fanatics Collect Premier Auction ended. Extended bidding watch party. Auction ended? Auction extended bidding watch party? Well, anyway, whatever it's called, this show is now over. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much.